Longer Vision. So we are the
camera.
Yeah, we're the Horrormongers, and we now have a camera, so you get to see our beautiful faces.
That's right.
From now on, every episode.
As you can see, the camera's right there. As the audience, I'm sure, can see the camera.
Yeah, can't stop looking at it.
Second time's a charm. We may have had a little oopsie daisy on the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you guys have probably already seen the little thing we posted at this point on Facebook, because this is past us talking to present you.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so this is the Horrormongers. We are a podcast slowly moving in towards more than just podcast stuff. The little commercial you saw yesterday is kind of like a little thing that we're kind of moving towards more with the camera. We're going to do more than just podcast stuff. But today's episode is, what do we call this? Hotel
themed.
Hotel
themed. Mostly shot in one room, but not all.
One room-ish hotel theme.
Yeah, it's not really shot in just one. 1408 more so than, but then they cheat using we'll talk about that.
We're doing 1408. We're doing Vacancy. Big difference is one is a hotel, one is a motel. There's a huge difference between this.
There is.
You guys know this.
You bring a fancy hooker to a hotel. You bring a trashy streetwalker to a motel.
I was going to say a hotel is where you bring a loved one, someone that
you
really
bring like
truly care about.
What do they call them? Escort. You bring an escort to a hotel. You bring a hooker to a motel. That's lesson number one for you listeners.
Now you know.
Now you know. That's better than the motel near my place, man. Like, there's like heroin all the time. It's bad. Like, it's always in the news.
That's also the difference between them, because in a motel,
I know.
that's where you go to do drugs.
But, okay, it's important we get this understand. Motels usually charge by the hour for a reason, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow. Or if you want to get
that's
like
our motto.
1 hour nap in a strange place with bed bugs,
Yay.
you can pay an hour. All right, yeah, so...
Which I do want to talk about that when we get to Vacancy.
Yeah. Two movies, hotel, motel themed.
Yes.
We were originally, when we came up with this idea, we were thinking one room. This is going to be kind of like a recurring theme, one room movies, because we really like that kind of style.
Yeah.
But these two, I would argue, don't quite fit the style I had in mind for one room. I don't know about you.
Not quite. Not as much as other movies.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that, especially 1408, because I have some complaints about 1408.
Okay.
Matt is in love with it. He's told me so.
God.
All right, but before we go on, we got our segments. We always do. We got news, not nudes.
That's right.
Who wants to lead it off?
Let me open up my laptop
I'll
here.
lead it off. All right. So I know me and Brad both found this. Brad and I, English majors out there cringing everywhere. Brad and I both found this news topic, so we'll start with that. Brightburn.
Absolutely.
New trailer.
Yes. It was awesome.
Yeah, go check it out on YouTube right now. That's where I saw it.
Because you're seeing us on YouTube.
It's Evil Superman. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
And James Gunn is doing it.
Yeah, guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. He got twittered. What do you call that when you say stupid things? Twattered. He said things. But I'm not going to get political. He said things like a decade ago when he was working for. You know what he was working for?
I have no idea.
Trauma.
Oh, seriously?
That's why he said that stuff. Just so you know, if you know anything about Trauma.
So wait, this is when his career started.
Yes.
Oh.
That's why. I'm upset that they fired James Gunn. He said that when he was working for Trauma. If you know anything about Trauma, they're all about saying inappropriate, pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Much like us. I can never run for president now that my face is on YouTube. So.
I think you could run for president anyway.
I can.
You were born in Kenya.
Kenya. I'll show you my birth certificate, but you have to get a subpoena first. So, Brightburn, new trailer out. Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen it.
So, do you know roughly what Brightburn is?
Yeah.
By James Gunn.
Yeah. I think you showed a little teaser.
A couple weeks ago after an episode, I showed you. I was excited for this.
Yeah, I think it was our best of 2018.
Yeah, I think it was that episode. Yeah,
it was one of our most what do you call it?
Popular?
Me no talkie.
Yeah.
No, our anticipated 2019 movies.
Yeah. Brightburn was one of them.
It looks awesome. It's just a very dark, Smallville kind of thing. Because it's young boy who has superpowers. All the superpowers are Superman.
He's an alien, too.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Found by a couple just like he was.
Exactly. Old little farm town. And he's got superpowers.
Very subtle. I like it.
Yeah. We try not to do product placement, but
very subtle.
Yeah, no product placement whatsoever.
Now that we have video, get used to this kind of movement. Yeah, by the way, I'm the true horrormonger here. Look at these fools. They have koozies. I got a shirt. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but that's definitely one of my most anticipated. There's 2 trailers or 2 versions. You know, there's like trailer 1, trailer 2.
New one just dropped.
New one just dropped
a
couple days ago. Yeah,
And
I'm really excited for it.
So good.
Really excited. It comes out May 24th.
Also coming up.
Oh, that's soon.
Yeah, really soon.
I didn't
either.
I was just watching the video and I was like, my mind, it's blown.
It's cool. It's basically if a kids are already creepy, right? And then he has Superman's powers and he goes on a murder spree. I mean, what's more scary than that?
I mean, this kid basically did come from the corn.
Yeah.
So, we know that. We know who those kids are.
By the way, I just watched the episode of Star Trek where there was a guy from Children of the Corn. Never mind. I've been Brad got me into the original Star Trek.
Oh, you're watching it?
Yeah.
Yes! It's so good.
I just watched one with the kid that's like the guy from Twilight Zone, the kid that can make people disappear. If you're not nice to me, I'll make it. It's like the 2nd or 3rd episode ever. They bring in like some kid that has godlike powers.
Oh.
Anyway, it's kind of horror related. That's why I bring it up.
Nice.
Because you know the episode of the Twilight Zone, which is kind of a segue because the Twilight Zone is also coming up soon.
Yeah,
the remake with my least favorite person in the world.
Which Matt notified me they're actually redoing the original episodes again.
I think they are. I believe they are because they're really advertising the one where he's on the airplane.
Okay.
I hope they don't do it for all. I mean, because I've already. There's no way. First off, part of the Twilight Zone's charm is I don't know about you guys, the twist. Yeah. I like the twist, and if I know what the twist is, I'm not going to care.
Like the pig episode. That's the one that really stands out to me.
He's the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
It was the whole pig community, and then turns out she's beautiful. Oh, what a twist!
1960s beautiful. We gotta make that clear.
I mean, there's actually a couple known actors in the series. Mm-hmm. If you guys saw the little trailer,
the new series.
Yeah, the new series.
Who's
I think
I didn't actually see any more.
I saw Jeff Daniels, Adam Scott.
Jeff Daniels. I'm excited for that.
Actually, Adam Scott doesn't surprise me.
Adam Scott's in it.
He was in.
I'm totally blanking on everyone
Krampus?
else.
Oh, he wasn't Krampus. No, but he was in the one with the little kid, like the Damien Omen kind of
the spoof.
evil kid.
Spoof.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
well, I remember.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's going to be on CBS All Access. That's the rub for me. I don't know about you guys. I don't want to.
Oh, yay! So we have to get a subscription.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You know what? I've got Hulu. I can watch the original episodes. Yay!
Yeah. And the original, if they're going to remake it, there's no way. If you've watched our past episodes, you know, rarely, but there might be a future episode where it's not the case, are the remakes better than the original, right? I mean, rarely. Yeah. But there's a few exceptions.
Well, they tried to do this with in the 1980s.
They did with The Outer Limits.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was...
Well, the 1980s...
Oh, you're talking about the movie?
No, in the Twilight Zone,
they actually
rebooted it, but
really?
they just did the original episodes again. They rebooted the original episodes.
So they're going to do a third time?
Yeah, and it was a huge flop, apparently.
Yeah.
I really hope that's not true.
Well,
I hope that they don't
I'm kind of hoping that they actually do new episodes and just kind of
wouldn't surprise me.
All the old ones.
You know, because Jordan Peele's a hack. I know he probably's not writing it. He's just...
Well, it comes out April 1st. Watch him be
I have strong opinions about Jordan Peele.
I was really hoping, as much as he is into horror, I was really hoping he would write new episodes, new stories and everything, but apparently that's not the case.
He's just the host.
He's just rewriting original episodes.
I wonder if he's going to smoke like Rod Sterling did. Like on screen, smoke the
Well, it's on
balls.
streaming, so you don't have to worry about, not FDA, with the FCC regulations, because you got to be careful like when you smoke and stuff on certain shows.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the FCC won't let me be.
Won't let me be on
so
MTV. So, okay, what other news we got? What do you got, Brad?
Oh, apparently, The Conjuring 3 is going to be a little bit of a different take.
Compared to the first two?
Jesus Christ. The original two... So the original one is based on the house that's haunted.
Yeah.
The second one is a different house that's haunted. Well, this one is actually going to be within like a courtroom, I suppose. I guess like
all in a courtroom.
Well, the whole thing is going to be based on a trial. Huh. So I guess there's this guy who's on trial for murder, but he claims he was possessed, and that's why he's on trial. And then the Warrens come in, and they're trying to defend him and saying, "Oh yeah, he's yeah, the Warrens." She is kind of hot, though.
She is.
What she looks like. I saw the first one a long time. I never saw the second one.
Where was I?
No one cares.
It threw me off. Thanks.
No one cares.
No,
he's possessed.
it's all based around a trial.
They have to prove he's actually is possessed.
It's based around a trial, which I thought was interesting because if you remember the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose,
yeah,
I really enjoyed that movie because that's what it was. You know, take The Exorcist, but it's a trial based on afterwards. They go back and recap on the incidents.
So it's a different take. It's like a unique...
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like
kind of unique. Again, it's like Emily Rose.
And then they're going to make probably like another 20 movies outside of The Conjuring 3.
Well, we talked about this before. I do like the fact that The Conjuring has its own kind of universe. It's kind of neat.
Yes.
They're kind of marveling it up.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic.
I didn't see any of the Annabelle movies, though.
I haven't either.
I saw the first Conjuring, the second one, and that's it.
I enjoyed the first Annabelle. The second Annabelle was okay. I thought The Nun was garbage. I mean, it's interesting. If dumpster fire. No.
You said it!
No, it really was. Like, I paid money to go see that in theater.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my niece about it. She's like, I'm really glad I didn't see it in theater because I did not. After watching it, she's like, I'm so happy I didn't pay money for that.
If only we had some sort of funding so we can all go and see things in theaters.
Yeah, if that was a thing. Like, if there was something called, like, Patreon, where people could just, like, donate.
Yeah, that'd be great really since, cool. We all work, like, 40 hours a week already, and we have to do this.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have to.
I
mean, it's just...
We haven't gotten our checks yet.
I mean, I obviously went to school for 6 years plus to get my master's so I can do this in education. So. All right, let's see. My turn to bring up news. We'll just like flip flop because Matt's prepared.
Yeah,
no, go for it because I got something else I got to look up.
Cool. This is video game related, so we're kind of. If you can't tell,
on to my news.
Please. I like video games. I love video games. I play video games all the time. Devil May Cry 5 has recently released Friday. So when you're watching this, like 4 days ago.
How long has it been? Devil May Cry 4 came out, what?
Xbox 360.
15 years ago?
No, Xbox 360. You're thinking of Devil May Cry 3. Came out like...
Oh, yeah. No,
came out for the 360, so 2009, 2010.
That was 4?
That was 4, yeah.
Okay, I am thinking of 3.
3 came out in like 2005, 2006.
3 was good. 3 was the one that was really difficult, though, wasn't it? 3's my favorite,
yeah.
I remember going over to your house and playing that. It's like, this is so hard. Why?
3 is my favorite. But yeah, 5 came out.
The game was hard. Just
the joystick I handed him. Why isn't the joystick doing what my character's doing on the...
It was
sticky.
It was a mouth-based video game.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Devil May Cry 5. It's out. Apparently it kicks ass. Reviews are coming in. People playing it. They say it's really good, really fun. Why am I talking about a video game? Because it's about killing demons, if you don't know this. You're a demon hunter. You're a detective demon hunter, and you kill demons. And like not like kitty demons. Have you ever seen like some designs that are grotesque looking? It's truly kind of like, what do you call it? Who make Cthulhu? Lovecraftian kind of looking demons. It's really cool. I like it. It's cool. It's over the top. The action's fun. It's really good. It's now out PS4, PC, and Xbox One that no one owns. But I have not played it yet. I am going to play it. I do own it. I got it for free. Long story. I stuck the guy off in the corner.
I was about to say.
Yeah, stuck the guy off. Very long story. Stuck the guy off. No, I got it for when I was building my computer. But I got it on the PC. But I want to replay because I haven't played them all since they first came out. So I'm replaying them. I'm on 3 right now. 1 and 2 are super short. If you want to play them, there's like an HD collection. If you have a PS4, go out and get the HD collection. It's $20 new for 3 games.
Oh, for real?
DMC 1, 2, and 3.
Nice. Is it only for PlayStation, you said?
I think it's also on the PC as well. But yeah,
it's not Xbox.
That might be, I don't know. But I got mine.
I wasn't listening to what you were saying.
Cool. So. I bought it the PS4 $20. 1 and 2 are like, you could beat it in like 3 or 4 hours. They're super short. Back when games were like super short, they weren't like trying to like be open world craziness. 3's a little longer, but 3's awesome. So 2 sucks. But anyway, DMC 5 out. If you like killing demons and playing video games, play it.
That's right up your alley.
We got.
I got one. Apparently, Jessica Chastain.
Don't know who that is.
She is the actress in It Chapter 2.
She the redhead?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's like 14 in the first one.
She's like 41.
Oh, talking about the person who plays her as...
Yes.
As the adult.
The actress as the adult version.
Got it.
Yes.
I was saying, you guys are really creepy. You guys are both like giving me like a creepy...
I was trying to look up the thing that she was saying about the upcoming movie, and then I looked at her picture, and I was like...
I hate that they can see it.
She's not as hot as...
I would... Anyway, I would never look her up. What's her name, just out of curiosity?
Jessica Chastain.
Just so the people at home know, Jessica Chastain. Okay.
So, apparently she came out saying that It Chapter 2 has the... this is a bold statement. The bloodiest scene in any horror movie.
So, obviously she has not seen a lot of horror movies.
Is she in that one movie with that one guy?
I don't know.
Justin Long Accepted?
No.
I don't think that was her. But she says it's the bloodiest scene of all time. She is quoted... saying, I'm not going to say something... Hold on. I'm going to say something and I think I am going to be in trouble, but I'm not going to do it. But I'm going to do it. I don't know how to read.
You don't.
I'm dyslexic.
Okay.
She said it might be a spoiler, but in the movie there's a scene that someone said on set that it's the most blood that's ever been in a horror film in a scene. The next day I was pulling fake blood out of my eyeballs.
Your balls?
Out of her eyeballs.
Oh, I heard balls. Like, snap back.
Which, it makes me think of, like, certain scenes, like The Shining, where they literally have, like, a river of blood flowing out of the doors.
Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Dead Alive.
The lawnmower scene. There's no way. I mean,
biggest gore scene ever.
Is she being
Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily blood, but, I mean, it was, like, a lot of different colored shit just spewing out of the walls.
I feel like there's a little bit of hyperbole going on here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I doubt that it's literally the most. I think she's like trying to overhype this, which she doesn't really have to because apparently a lot of people are excited for Chapter 2.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't think they...
I mean, everyone's excited.
We didn't review the first one. We should probably review the second one when it does come out, which comes out soon, right? The fall.
Yeah.
Eventually we're going to do a book club version. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Literary Society.
Thank you.
That makes it
sound
more manly. We're going to do our book club.
Because if I had reviewed the first one, I'm sure a lot of people would be angry. What? Jesus Christ.
But we're going to do our butt plug.
Butt plug. Not on camera, we're not.
We're gonna review books with our butt plug.
If I had reviewed the first one when it came out, I feel like I'd have a lot of hate because I wasn't as enthusiastic. I mean, it was good. I just wasn't as enthusiastic as a lot of people. If you want to know off the top of my head, if I were to rate the first It, before we start our new rating system, we'll use our old 1 out of 10. I'll give it a 7, maybe a 6.5.
Really?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But like people are giving 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
See, I haven't read the book yet. We're going to get to that book eventually with the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
when does Chapter 2 come out?
I think this fall.
So we got plenty of time to do all that.
I did all my homework, so I don't know.
I don't think they've released an official trailer yet for Chapter 2.
No, as far as I know.
I thought they were going to.
No, I feel like everyone's going to go nuts when that happens. September 6th is when it's coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So coming out soon-ish. I mean, 6 months, but soon-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's hyperbole. I don't know about you guys. I don't think it's going to be the most bloody scene. I think it's probably the most bloody scene they've done for It Chapter 1
for
or
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be the judges of that.
Yes. Another news thing, real quick. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
Is now a TV series on FX or FXX. Now that they have these 20 different channels.
What's the difference? Is FXX show more?
I think FX is more about movies and FXX is more about their TV series. I think.
Okay.
They have both.
I thought maybe FXX is going to be like a little more
it's
adult
more
oriented.
It is more adult oriented.
So they're going to eventually come out with FXXX.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
It's more adult oriented too. Yeah, It's Always Sunny is on FXX, for example.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they can say shit now.
Yeah. Well, anyone can.
So
after a certain time.
You can say shit.
Yeah.
On TV, yeah.
Oh, shit.
After like 10 o'clock.
South Park did a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
As long as it's not
that was a long time ago.
As long as it's not local, I think. It has to be basic cable. It can't be local channels.
I think we were still in high school when that episode aired.
Yeah.
That was like a huge deal. They're like, oh.
Guess how old
shit
we are. So if you don't know, it's basically, it was a movie or an indie movie. I think it was also a web series, too. It's about these guys that are in,
were
they in New York, I believe, and like they're actually vampires, and it just kind of like follows them around as they live like an ordinary life as vampires. It's a comedy. But
it's like The Office with the vampires.
Yes,
I mean it's the whole interview.
Yeah,
like a go about their daily lives and interview them individually.
I never saw it.
Oh, it's on FX.
It's great. You need to watch it.
I think it's on Prime. Isn't it?
It's got
the movie.
Yeah, the movie
might be.
It's got Jermaine Clement. Isn't that his name? From Flight of the Conchords.
You're talking about in the movie?
In the movie, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in the series or not.
No, he's not. He's not in the series. They replaced him with. I think his character is replaced by the guy from IT Crowd, the boss.
Ah, cool.
So, cool. If only I had the internet to look up these names, but
Yeah, some of us are using this computer, so this computer is dead because I'm using this to record our audio, and the screen's busted.
Yeah, my laptop's just a piece of paper.
We gave the fool the power of the laptop. I have an iPad, like I'm a hipster. Do you have any other news before I go into my last piece of news I got?
I have nothing.
Cool.
That's all for me.
Here we go. This is going to be a big discussion piece, I think, because Matt is in love with this man. Like, he would do dirty things to him.
Is it Goldberg?
Yeah. No, apparently, critics are eating up Jordan Peele's movie, Us. The new movie.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Why would they eat the movie?
Not surprised. Here's what I wrote down. I'm going to read the notes verbatim, so you know how I feel about Jordan Peele. I liked him on Key and Peele. It's not that he's very hit or miss with his comedy. Sometimes I just didn't like. I didn't like Get Out. I thought it was overrated. I thought it was boring. It was on the nose. It wasn't scary. It was.
Wait. You don't like that movie?
Funny.
I don't remember you ever saying that.
Yeah, I don't think you voiced your opinion on that.
It's not good. It has nothing to do with the racial whatever. It's just a bad movie. I mean, it is. But I'm giving Us a chance. But here's what I wrote. Not surprising. That these critics are eaten up. Not surprising, because I'm sure it is just as ham-fisted and boring as his other work. I will give it a go as long as I am not paying money to see it. I do not believe in supporting mediocre, overhyped movies. See Captain Marvel and Get Out.
Wait, you're saying Captain Marvel wasn't any good?
No, it's like mediocre. People are giving like middling scores.
Honestly, okay. So I'm not...
Here it comes.
I know this.
Whenever you have to preface something, we'll say preface. It sounds better.
I'm not huge into the whole Marvel universe.
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching the Marvel movies after...
I mean, I like the ones I like.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I liked Sam Raimi's Spider-Man when they came out. I look back and... I mean...
Yeah, I think you said the third one's your favorite one, right? Yeah.
But then it like blew up and became a whole thing, and now we just can't keep up. Like I don't read the comics, I don't really know the whole lore behind everything, so I can't. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't appreciate it as much as everyone else does, but I'm not running out and watching every opening night.
Let me put this: the majority of moviegoers don't appreciate Marvel comics. They appreciate popcorn flicks and pretend that they're hips, that they're into the Marvel thing. I speak this as you know.
You're going to make some people mad.
I'm going to make some people... I'm a huge I was a comic book nerd back when it was not cool to like comic books. You know this.
Hold on. You were just making fun of hipsters.
Yeah.
And you just...
Well, no, I'm not saying that. No, there's why I bring it up, because I was made fun of. Like, now you don't get made fun of. So, like, I had to, like, put up with...
being a nerd is mainstream now.
So, like, I got made fun of.
Adam
and
Scott
I had
said that in...
from...
he said that in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know why you're making fun of me. Being a nerd is mainstream. So
what I'm saying is I've always been a nerd. It's not like I want to, but like normies, as they call them, are just like watching this and eating it up, and it's really degrading the whole genre. Anyway.
Quick question now.
Yeah.
So, not to sound sexist, I thought Captain Marvel was a guy.
Originally. There's a big complicated
thing.
So
they did change the gender.
She was original. No. Okay, so you had Captain Marvel, who was a Kree soldier who... betrayed his race to help protect Earth, and then you had Carol Danvers. She was there originally. She gets attacked, and she needs a blood transfusion, and the original Captain Marvel gave her a blood transfusion, and then years later she became a superhero known as Miss Marvel.
Okay.
Then about 6 years ago, Marvel bought the rights to Captain Marvel, because originally Shazam was called Captain Marvel. They bought the rights. They go, okay, she's no longer Miss Marvel, now she's Captain Marvel, and that's why. Because the original, his name is Mar-Vell. Mm-hmm. Mars, his first name, Vel.
Wasn't he supposed to be basically Superman or something?
Kind of, yes.
Like the Marvel version of Superman?
Sort of. He had like all these different weird powers, but he died of cancer in like the 80s. He died of cancer in the comic book.
The character?
Yeah. So he's dead in the comics.
Of all things.
It's kind of fucked up. He's supposed to be Superman?
Yeah, he died of space cancer.
He's like,
cure.
space cancer.
Space cancer.
Well, it was kind of cancer.
It was analogous. It was analogous to cancer. I mean, they didn't say the C word. They might have. It's been a while since I've read The Death of Captain Marvel. But.
Space AIDS.
But I'm a true nerd, yo. OG. So, well, originally...
Everyone debates Zach.
My original podcast was called Canonically Incorrect. So
yeah, true.
Before this, which is all about comic books and nerd culture.
How's that going?
Very well. Anyway. I like everything. So, I don't think Jordan Peele's Us is going to be good. Matt's going to love it. He's going to have a boner throughout the entire thing.
Damn
I'm
straight.
not going to sit next to him when he watches it. My eyes will definitely be making contact because there's no way you don't look.
We're going to do the popcorn thing.
I think it's going to be a bad movie.
I'm going to do something really awkward real quick.
Oh my God.
I want to make sure this is recorded.
It is. I can see the red light. That's why
cool.
I don't look at it. I keep looking up there to see if I'm not looking because I want to look at you guys.
No, I see the red light.
I love you all.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that wasn't...
to make sure the red light's still going.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't the off light.
God, that would suck if it really did not. We'd quit. This is the end of the...
Yeah, that'd be it. That'd be it for us.
We'd be done. Podcast over.
So is that all of the nudes?
Yeah, all nudes.
All right.
So let's go into the movies.
Well, I mean, I think we should have a quick word from our sponsors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a quick word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by the Horrormongers. If it doesn't make you feel awkward, chances are you're probably going to hell.
Yes. Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Horrormongers.
That was a great commercial.
It was.
I loved it.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
was
God.
fantastic.
I mean, just brilliant.
Our sponsors are just such great people for doing this for us.
And if you really like the first guy in the thing, you can give him a call. He's available, ladies. Or guys, if you're cute enough. I don't discriminate. Or he doesn't discriminate. I don't know who he is. So, all right.
Talking about the guys that are going to call you, they don't discriminate.
Yeah.
So, the first movie?
Yeah, 1408.
1408.
Make sure I say that so you don't...
What?
You try to make Vacancy the first movie we talk about. I'm like, no, 1408.
I don't care.
I do.
I give no...
Let's get the good one out
I
of the way.
give no...
Oh my God. Did you hear what Matt just said?
What'd you say?
Get the good one out of the way.
Wow.
God, I can't wait to tear you apart.
I just want to say...
Matt will probably be crying by the end of my...
I don't disagree with Matt.
Oh my God, you'll both be crying when I'm done.
No. They both have their good qualities.
All right.
And bad qualities.
Yeah.
1408 shit.
So, a quick overview about 1408. It's directed by Mikhail Hafstrom.
Very important information. Who's he?
He did The Right. He did Escape Plan.
Oh, very important movies we've seen.
Escape Plan?
Yeah. No, this is the most famous movie he ever did.
Of course.
The story... Oh, fun fact. This is a Stephen King short story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that going into
Seriously,
this.
I actually made a note saying the characters are actually well written. It's almost like this is based on a novel with a talented author.
Yeah. And I agree with that. We're going to get to that later. The cast includes John Cusack, who plays Mike Enslin, who's known for movies such as Identity, 2012, The Raven.
What's the one that he holds the...
Say anything.
Where's the one... Does it say anything?
Well,
He holds the boombox over his head. He's an 80s icon.
Yeah, he's also in a whole bunch of 80s films. I'm trying to do the whole, like...
No one cares.
I was
He was in...
I was trying to...
Con Air? Was he in Con Air? I feel like he was in Con Air.
Yes, he was in Con Air, yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen
John
that
Cusack and John Malkovich.
Both great Johns.
But I was trying to point out the horror movies he was in specifically. Because that kind of is a little relevant
No, it's
to
not.
what we do.
Wait, he was in The Raven, like as in like Edgar Allan Poe's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a movie version of that?
Yep.
Yeah, there was a whole thing when it came
God,
out.
I bet it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I bet
you're,
it's so
you're
amazing.
missing out, Zach.
I
seriously.
heard mixed things.
All right.
It's also got Samuel L. Jackson.
I think it's Jake's.
I believe it is.
Jake's son, like son of Jake.
And it's his
he's not
smallest
very
role
well
ever.
known.
I don't know if he's in anything. I thought he looked like one of those that guys. Like I've seen him before, but I got him mixed up with Morgan Freeman. So I thought he was a guy from Bruce Almighty. He wasn't. I looked it up.
He plays Gerald Olin. He's the manager of the hotel. He's in such movies such as that was really redundant. Such.
Those ATM machines.
He's in Deep Blue Sea.
great movie.
Right?
Best line is, "You ate my
you ate my bird." That was not Samuel Jackson though.
We all
motherfucking shark ate me. He was also
Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
Snakes
I
on
was
a
just gonna
Plane.
say the Oscar winner, Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
That was actually a good movie.
Couple
That was a
Oscars, I
good
think.
movie. All right.
I had Keenan Thompson in it too.
Yeah,
He was
actually,
like,
before
"Hey,
he was
I played
relevant.
Flight Simulator. I could fly a plane." I'm like, "Yeah, you do that."
Think that guy's Johnson. That was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy anything Samuel. I love Samuel Jackson.
Also, Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, I
was
know.
in that movie.
I was like, Monk.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
I loved him in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
He was basically the Scotty of the whole Star
Yeah.
Trek group, you know.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was more of a
Dude's
bit
awesome.
character, but he was in it. Yeah.
So going into the movie itself,
Alcoholic author who writes novels about haunted hotels and different places, real interest hotels.
actually, that's what tipped me off at first. I'm like, oh, it's about an author.
Yeah.
It's kind of
We
like
talked about
it's
this.
kind of like it's a Stephen
I
King
told
novel.
you, Stephen King only believes in doing authors
Yeah.
and like teachers. That's like the only like his.
But what's funny is John Cusack's also in The Cell with Samuel Jackson, where he plays a comic strip writer.
Yeah,
But still, it's like,
yeah. Same thing.
okay, Stephen King definitely has a hard on for writers.
It's almost like
I
he is
wonder
one.
why.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's an alcoholic, or an I wouldn't say alcoholic, but he does drink, obviously. I mean, all writers, he makes a crack about it during the movie. Like, you know, I'm a writer, of course I drink.
Yeah.
He writes like for like hotels, like haunted, like locations, you know,
Yeah.
like top haunted places. He writes these and like, they make fun of him, like he's obviously not passionate about this. He might have been at one point.
Well, he's a skeptic. He's an obvious skeptic.
Yeah,
about
I actually put that. Here's more of my notes. I put John Cusack reminds me of myself. He's a skeptic and dead inside. So, yeah. He doesn't like what he's doing, obviously. He wrote like a novel like way back when that was completely different, that didn't do so well.
But there's a couple of people that showed interest. They're like, "Oh, this is so well written." And he's like, "I don't care."
Apparently, he had an abusive relationship with his father. We'll get to that. That's one of my complaints is they flesh way too much about his backstory. I don't care about in a horror movie. Like they can just, it's more. I'd rather have show rather than tell. And they just would tell. Like I'd rather infer rather than come on. Like,
Yeah.
It's hit me on the face. This backstory. I don't care. I can infer.
But I thought it was interesting when they first start out. He's driving through a rainy night, goes to this hotel. It's this like little hotel, and
They're all excited to see him.
yeah, they're like, "Oh my god, this writer's here." It's like a little B&B kind of place, but it's obviously got this history of paranormal activity.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Just give me the key. Just give me the key. I don't care. Don't tell me anything. Just give me the key. Let me go check it out for myself." And he goes through the night, and nothing happens. And he's like, "Well."
And he always in his books, it's inferred that he also embellishes a lot of this. Like he says, like he doesn't say it's like he says, "Ooh, it's so scary." He gives it a 6 out of 10, even though he was bored out of his mind. I feel like when we do some of our series, because I think we're eventually going to do like when we go to haunted places, I'm going to be like John Cusack. Like I'm the skeptic. Like I don't think there's a such thing as hauntings.
We should get one of those readers.
EMFs.
Yeah, that'd be fucking cool. Patreon.
Oh yeah, if only we had some sort of funding for that.
People are gonna jump on that ship, like, "Oh yeah, let's buy one of those EMF readers."
Yeah. Well, I'm saying is, this camera could have been, this could have been Patreon funded.
It could have.
It wasn't. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we had to pay for it.
Now I'm poor.
Yeah. Now I'm sucking men off for free copies of Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
Let's see. So anyway, I'm just going to go quick over so we don't go too deep into it. We can just have like a natural discussion of the movie. Just quick synopsis. So he writes these books. He stays at hotels. He finds this one hotel that he finds like a brochure.
I wanted to make one quick comment because I thought it was funny. Like he cares so little. He was at a book signing. And one guy's like, "Oh man, what's the most haunted place you've ever stayed at?" And he's like, "You really want to know the most haunted place? Orlando, the Haunted Mansion." And the guy's like, "All right." Yeah. And it's like just a joke because he doesn't get it.
Yeah, yeah. He's a skeptic through and through.
Yeah, he's a dick.
So he goes to the Dolphin Hotel. He sees like a thing in his mailbox, and he wants to go, but he's like shut down. Like they go, "No, you can't rent a room out. We don't have 1408."
Yeah, not available.
By the way,
it's not available.
I got it before they said it, but I was like, "Oh my god, 1408!" Were you able to figure it out? 14.
No, it makes 13. No, yeah, all the numbers.
Before I watched the movie, I was like, "Oh my god, it makes 13." Then they, of course, in the movie they flat out say it, which again I hate. I rather Show don't tell.
Well,
Don't tell me it makes 13. It's cute before
he writes it out immediately. He's like 1408 equals 13.
Yeah,
that's what I did too. I did that when I was like saw the title, and then they do it in the movie. I'm like, okay.
Well, they even mentioned the hotel doesn't have a 13th floor.
A lot of buildings don't.
Yeah,
it's a superstition thing.
So,
which I think we talked about why 13 is an unlucky number in our Halloween episode.
Oh yeah.
That's a plug.
I forget why, but no, I do remember.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I was a little
under
the weather.
No one could tell.
I was under the weather.
No one could tell.
Yeah.
For the Halloween episode.
Yeah, I was under the weather.
I think I was under the weather too at that
time.
So anyway, he goes to the Dolphin. They threaten to sue them because they can't not rent out a room to someone if there's nothing wrong with it. So he eventually gets the room.
Yeah, he calls up a lawyer. He calls his publicist, Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
He's like, I got a lawyer. Hey, he says you can get it.
He's $400 an hour, so talk fast.
He gets to the hotel and he meets. There's a warning saying, "Hey, when he checks in, have the manager talk to him." Mm. And so they get the manager, and the manager is
Samuel Jackson.
This is where we can slow down because this is where the movie kind of picks up, like a half hour in.
Mm-hmm. About 20 minutes. That's the norm.
Yeah. So before we get started, let's talk about what some notes we had leading up to this part. I wrote down some notes. I said the acting was barely good so far in the movie. The acting was well acted.
Actually, I've got more to say on that. Further along in the movie,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Words.
We'll
John Cusack. He's actually a really good actor.
Yeah,
I haven't seen as much that he's in, but honestly, everything he's really good.
He's good. Yeah,
and he shows a lot of emotion in this movie.
There's a reason why he's one of the few of the Breakfast Club people or the '80s teen icons that's still
in the
around.
Breakfast Club.
I know, but they call him the Brat Pack or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's part of the Brat Pack, the '80s teen movie schlocks. Oh. He's one of the few ones that you still know and hear about.
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald, kind of, but she's relegated to TV series.
Why was she famous?
You serious? Breakfast Club, 16 Candles,
Pretty Pink.
Why?
St. Elmo's Fire.
Still, why?
Oh, St. Elmo's Fire was good.
I don't know why.
Actually, I never saw St. Elmo's Fire. I've only seen The Breakfast Club. I think that's the only movie I've seen.
I've never seen The Breakfast Club.
Well, that and she was in not another teen movie briefly.
She was. So I mentioned this. The dialogue is interesting and makes the slow parts more bearable because it is slow in the beginning, right? They're setting it up.
But then
this is before they hit me in the face with his background because I liked it. I was like, oh yeah, they're not going into enough detail. I can infer that he's had a rough background and his wife and him are on the rocks.
Yeah,
I got that. And then during the scary parts, they would break up the scary parts with background about that, and I'm like, was this really the time? I mean, I kind of already knew that. Why are you showing this? You're just filling time.
Well, it's got something to do with I mean, the whole room is getting into his head. That's why. Because they're trying to get into his past and what makes him.
I get it, but it became an interesting paranormal thing and became a surreal cliche movie. We'll get to that. So the dialogue was good. I mean, the part between him we were about to talk about Samuel Jackson, the conversation they have. I liked it. That was a good.
I thought that was great.
That was a great conversation. Well acted.
Yes, the dialogue between them was just fantastic, and where he comes in all cocky, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know all about this and this and this," and Samuel Jackson was like, "Yeah, well, there's this death and this death," and he finishes his sentence. He's like, "Oh yeah, this death and this death and this death." I like that part, because he did He goes, "I've done my research. I've done this. I know all about it." And he's like, "What about the 22 natural deaths?" And he's like, "Oh."
And he shows him a file saying, "I'll let you publish this file if you don't rep the room out. This is a file that no one has. You can write this in your book."
He was even telling him to stay in the other room that's identical to it.
Yeah, 1404 or something like that is what he said. And
he's the same room,
and he's bribing him with alcohol, which is a very important plot point, a plot device that you'll need to know is the bottle of alcohol, really expensive alcohol. I'm sure Brad's gonna say something about it not being able to burn. Every movie that has a Molotov cocktail, spoilers to the end, Brad gets upset about.
Depends on the proof.
Anyway.
Oh, you're talking about actual burning?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
I don't know.
It should be smooth
I don't know.
to the taste.
I don't know that many dark liquors that burn like that. But so anyway, it's an expensive. Was it a whiskey or scotch?
I can't even remember what he said. Yeah, it was a dark liquor of some sort.
Yeah, and so he offers him this. He goes, "Here, have the bottle." You know, he's like trying to bribe him not to rent the room.
He's trying his hardest.
And John Cusack's a skeptic. He's obviously trying to sell me on this room. Yeah. You know? But then he starts to think, okay, maybe there's something to it. That's the important part, because he's giving him all this stuff to stay in a different room. So it has nothing to do with trying to sell the room. He's trying to bribe him to get out of it. And so that kind of piques John Cusack's, Michael Insland's, whatever his name is, interest. Yeah. And so it looks like he's going to...
As a total skeptic, he's like, oh, well...
And then it looks like he's going to take it. You know, he takes the file. He goes, "Why don't you go ahead and open up that bourbon or the whiskey?" He goes, "Oh," and he's pouring it. He thinks he's won. And he goes, "Thanks. Oh, and it's smooth. I'm still going in the room. I'm still going 14."
See, I got the file. I've got your whiskey.
Then he finally caves in.
Damn it! No, he goes, "Damn it! Okay, fine. Keep the file. Read it. Maybe that'll make you change your mind." And
he came this close to blowing him to not stay in that room.
Yeah, this close. We almost had a porno in our hands. So he goes up to the room. They lead him up to the room, and he goes into the room. Like
the room and stuff about the room.
1408.
Wait, there's a room?
All right, so I mentioned this is about a half hour in before
hold on, wait. Quickly. He gives him a key. Yeah, I love this part. He's like, "Oh, it's very antique-y. I love it." Like most rooms are magnetic. He's like, "Well, you'll find electronics don't work in the room."
Yeah.
He's like, "We found electronics don't work in this room." Yeah, he gets to the room, turns on all the lights. There's a digital clock in there. He turns on the TV. He's using his recorder, and I'm like, he just said electronics don't work in this room. Literally every electronic is working
story
fine.
I have. I wrote down this part. He says that he goes, "Oh my God!" He goes, "No goes in this room. It must be disgusting in there." He goes, "The hotel staff does turn down service once a month, right?" Mm. Yet when he's using the black light, he sees bloodstains on the linen. How is that possible if they do turn down service once a month? That's not how black lights work.
They lie.
They're not going to use the same linen that's been in there the entire time.
Well, I would like to point this out.
Or whatever it is.
Urine or semen.
It's just...
I would like to point out that he did say that people don't usually last an hour in that room.
Yeah, he goes...
Well, and then they go into that.
Yeah, like they leave the door open.
That was said before.
That's actually the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, because once shit starts hitting the wall, we'll get to it in a second. But once shit starts hitting the wall, the clock starts a countdown. Like his digital clock changes the time to 60, and it starts counting down. Yeah. Like something's going to happen after an hour.
Oh, I want to go back a little bit. What the hell is happening upstairs?
I have no idea.
Are you guys being robbed?
I don't know. But he goes into, he's like, $8 for beer nuts. I was like, wow, that's the horror part of the movie. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Beer nuts.
But, that was the huge thing. Like, the clock, it starts going crazy, and it goes at 60, 59, and then starts counting down seconds, and that's the whole thing. And he's like, oh, what's happening now?
I thought that whole thing was kind of creepy.
Yeah,
all these weird things start happening. Like he tears off toilet paper, and then he goes back, and then it's all folded up. And he's like, wait, what?
Well, yeah, because that was creepy, because he goes to the window, and then the radio turns on all of a sudden.
Yeah, the radio turns on.
It turns on, he turns around, he goes, okay, he thinks it's like the hotel staff trying to sell the room again. He goes, you almost got me. And he goes into the bathroom, and the toilet paper is nice and folded, and he goes, well, that means he must be in here. And he opens up stuff. There's no one there.
There's chocolate on the pillow.
I do want to mention one of the unique factors of this movie is it's not a poltergeist. It's not. They don't say it's a haunted with ghosts. I mean, even though there's ghosts, he said it's the room itself, which was unique. The room itself is just evil.
He's like, that's an evil motherfucker.
Yeah, it's not like a haunted room. It's the room itself trying to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I don't think Samuel Jackson once said the word motherfucker in there.
No, it's PG-13.
I was going to say, it must be rated PG-13.
And then they get one.
Yeah.
He should get the one.
You can say fuck, but not motherfucker, probably.
Yeah, there's weird rules.
You can't be fucking mothers and all that.
What?
I could actually, it's funny, I didn't look up what the rating was, but I actually put in my notes, this feels like a PG-13 movie. Yeah. That's probably
it's PG-13.
So
jizz stains, weird stuff starts happening in the room.
Okay, and this is what I want to talk about real quick. I liked this part of the movie. I thought it was really well done. It was creepy. The clock counting down, the random noises, him looking outside and stuff, and he looks in the window reflection, and you see like a guy with a hammer behind him, and like he looks across the street and he sees another person. He's trying to wave at him.
Good.
He's
I
like,
like that
get me out of here.
And he thinks the guy's waving back at him. And he's like, wait a second. And he starts to realize it's copying him. It's like a mirror.
It's
doing
his
like
reflection.
Very Looney Tunes like.
It was really cool. I like that. That was good. I wish there was more of that. But as the movie goes on, there's less that subtle. I call it gaslighting.
Okay.
I liked you know what gaslighting is?
No.
It's doing little things that make you think you're going crazy.
Okay.
Gaslighting. It's like it comes from the term where you leave, like you think you left the gas, like you go. I could have sworn I turned the gas light off, but it's on.
Oh, gotcha.
Little things. So it's like someone who gaslights you makes you think you're going crazy by doing small things.
Okay.
I like that. It was very subtle, like the knocks, the reflections in the mirror, the changing of the paintings. I thought it was cool. The subtle, the countdown of the clock.
That's one thing I really enjoyed. No, he goes into detail about the room at first, and he's describing the paintings. He's like, oh, there's this dull painting of a schooner lost at sea, and then there's schooner.
Thank you. I thought you said scooter. I'm like
scooter. It's like wee.
Yeah. So I thought you said
no, and then the painting called The Hunt, with an H, not a C. And the one with, what was it?
It was painted by Mike.
Matt's like, I get it. No, and then the other one, he was like, oh, a mother reading a bedtime story, blah, blah, blah. And then they later on, when he starts going more crazy, those paintings change.
Yeah.
And it becomes more terrifying.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the movie I did like. That's why I was all set up. Like, when I first started writing my review, I had it rated a lot higher. Because I write my review as the movie goes.
Yeah.
I change it. I change numbers around as I go. That way I can be fresh when I write these reviews.
But a lot of most of the movie, it goes into just like all these things keep happening. It's kind of hard to like keep track of everything.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, he's seeing all these people from the past that jumped out the window, and
I thought that's when it started kind of losing me a little bit. I'm like, okay, now we're seeing ghosts.
that got a little.
I like the reflection part where he disappeared when he turned around and all that. I like that, but when you start to see these like fake ass looking ghosts, here's what I put. I said, the ghosts themselves are not spooky to me. I am more of a fan of things you do not see. Always much more creepy to me.
Sure.
I like not seeing.
Yeah.
One of the things that Paranormal Activity got right, for all the wrong it did, was I liked some of the stuff you didn't see the entity itself.
Yeah.
I like that. Where you hear noises. You don't see the noises being made. You hear the noises.
When that movie came out, I did enjoy that one, but it has been way overdone since then.
Has, yeah.
And I mean, people
it's a trendsetter. Same with Superman. There's my one comic book reference.
People just been doing it over. I'm like, stop, seriously.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
It's been done already.
But you know,
but one of the things is they keep going to his past, and they show his father,
and that's when I started.
They do the whole.
That's when I started losing it.
Well, the one thing I enjoyed about it was the whole thing with his daughter and his wife, and it's like, okay, they got a past. The only thing I like about it is later on, because, I mean, we'll get into that.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, they spent a lot of time on his past.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, it broke up because it wasn't scary.
That was the movie. The movie. The movie messing with him.
Yeah, I get that, but still, I thought it was better. It just wasn't creepy to me because I don't have a connection to his goddamn family. How's that scary to me?
Yeah.
How's that messing with me as the viewer? I don't care if it's messing with him. Him being scared doesn't make me scared. You have to connect. You have to think of the audience, and I thought that was the worst part. They go into like, oh, the sad story about his daughter and all that, and how and that's why he's on the rocks with his wife. I kind of already inferred that before they showed 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm dying, Daddy, and they're like, oh, don't worry, you're going to heaven. I'm like, this isn't scary.
I mean,
what are we doing?
I mean, like
I was like, do you really believe that?
They first go into that when Tony Shalhoub, he's like, oh, what was it, Lily? I think was her name.
Yeah.
He's like, Lily's going to be in New York. Are you sure you want to go to New York? And he's like, yeah, it'll be fine.
That's
why
I inferred all this.
Obviously, there's something going on there.
I inferred all this. We need to go into it.
Yeah.
Again, I like show, don't tell. I like that. Subtle things. We're going to talk more about this in Vacancy.
You're right,
That's why when we get to Vacancy, I'll talk more about how the characters were better done.
I immediately thought, okay, yeah, he's obviously got like a wife or ex-wife or something there. Whatever. It was more about the daughter, though.
Yeah, I get it, but it was just too much, is what I'm saying.
I got you.
But there is a couple parts in the I start calling this part the shift from the paranormal.
The mind fuck.
Yeah, it becomes more surreal. I call it surreal.
Yeah.
Because the room starts changing temperatures and all that.
It starts snowing.
And then a huge twist happens where it's like, oh.
We'll get to that. That's one of the few good parts.
Oh, okay.
I think, if you're talking about the same twist. Talking about what happens when the clock counts down?
Oh, no. No, I'm talking about the twist when he just wakes up.
Oh, yeah, that was stupid. I hated that so much.
I hated that. Like, I
liked it.
I checked the time on the movie. I was do not tell me this is the end of the fucking movie.
Let me read some notes I put. I said, start out strong. The creepy factor is starting to wane and going more into the surreal. Mm-hmm. I then said, put number 10. I don't give a fuck about Cusick's kids. Or his wife. We get it. Let's focus more on the paranormal. And then I said, more focus on Cusick's past. Kinda bringing the whole movie down. And then finally, moving towards, before we get to the twist, there's a dead body in the vent, which was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
When he was going through the vent, I like that. He's in the vent system trying to escape the room, and there's a dead body up there.
Oh, man, we do. Okay, hold on. We completely skipped over this one part. I actually really like this part where he actually tries to climb out the window.
Oh, that was good. Okay, that was pretty cool.
I thought that was awesome. It really gave me a sense of vertigo, and it was very thrilling.
So he looks out the window, and he sees the other window, and he walks across the room to see how many steps it'll take. He's going to slide across outside.
And there's just a ledge just large enough to fit his feet. Yeah. So he's trying to go across the ledge, and then he's walking, he's counting his steps, and then
when he hits 0, he should be at the next window.
No room there. And then he looks over.
There's no windows.
And it pans out, and there's no windows anywhere around him.
That was good.
That kind of reminded me of The Cube.
Yeah. No, I thought that was great. It was thrilling. I mean, it seriously gave me a sense of vertigo. I was like, oh shit, this is awesome.
Yeah, I like that part. Again, this is the first half of the half of the room. It's 45 minutes into the movie, but the first half of once he gets in the room. The first half before things ramp up to surreal.
Yeah,
this is the beginning of surreal. When he gets back into the room is when it goes full on surreal after that scene. So that's why I don't like it.
He goes into the vents. And he finds a dead body in the vents, and then
it wakes up, and he has to it was creepy. The body's alive still. It was kind of creepy.
And then that's when I think the room freezes.
He gets his laptop out and tries to contact his ex-wife.
The electronics that don't work.
Yeah, well, you see what happens though.
The whole time he had a cell phone. This is what got me. That's when he decided to pull out a cell phone. I'm like, hold on, you had a cell phone the whole time?
Yeah.
The whole time he's trying to break down the door, he's trying to escape out the window.
Yeah.
He's trying to go through the vents, and then he's like, let me try my phone. I'm like, you got a phone?
Well, the room had a phone, but it was
that was kind of creepy when the room called him and started saying random gibberish to him.
Yeah. I like that.
That was creepy.
You can drop your laundry off at this time, Mr.
Again, but that's again before the surreal happens. I said, the first half of him being in that room was great. I had a really high review for this movie originally. Then the second half happened, which is where that's how the temperature. Weird. It got too weird, and it got less creepy and more about his backstory, surreal. The room changes. Yes.
Yeah.
What happens is he gets a hold of his wife using a Skype thing on his computer, his laptop, the camera, and what happens is things get altered. And it says the room takes over and says why don't you come and help me? I want to talk about things. The room is inviting the wife to come, essentially. It takes on the Cusick's face or whatever on the screen. He's like, no, don't listen to it and all that. And then the room starts freezing. And then he passes out, and then he wakes up, and he's
back in L.A.
So it's and I saw this coming. I put this down. This is most likely a fake out. It really breaks up the movie's pacing. What is the point of all this? Why ruin a movie? That's what I said when they did that. So I already knew this was a fake.
Like I said, I checked the timing, and I was like, please don't tell me this is the end of the movie. I was still pissed off either way. I'm like, it's not nearly the end of the movie, but why do it this way?
Also, so he's reliving an alternate version, kind of like Groundhog Day, but worse.
In fact, didn't they actually mention that in the movie?
Groundhog Day?
That may have been something else I watched recently.
You're probably thinking of Happy Death Day.
No, there was something that happened.
They actually referenced that. Yeah,
I haven't seen the second one yet. That's a good movie.
Maybe it was something I saw
it came
recently.
out. It's just out in theaters.
It came out Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So.
I can't wait to see
I
it.
saw something recently where they pass a marquee that they were showing Groundhog Day.
Oh, maybe. It might
have been in this movie.
I wasn't paying the most attention to it because I was actually writing notes while I was...
It might have been that movie. Shit, I don't know.
Anyway,
it was like one of those like minor, like, oh, here's a shot of that, and it's like I just haven't noticed.
Apparently, he was never in the room. That's what they're trying to tell you. We all know it's not the case. I mean, obviously, it's the room fucking with him. And I'm like, okay, fine. It's gonna fuck with him for like 5 minutes. No, 20 minutes. 20 minutes of this stupid, surreal dream that breaks up the scary part, creepy part.
And he starts seeing the people from the hotel
and all
this.
And that's when it goes
that's
back.
Weird.
He writes a novel. He's like, I'm writing a novel about the room and how I lost my mind and all this. It's gonna be great. His life is better. He's getting along with his wife that he was on the rocks with, and all that. And it looks like his life's better.
I like how they go back into it though, because. He's back in the post office and he's like, okay, I'm gonna send my novel, and then he starts seeing more people from the hotel, and then they just start demolishing the place.
Yeah,
it's like, what's going on? And then he ends up back in the room, and the room is demolished.
Yeah.
I like that aspect. I mean, everything leading up to it.
And so that when they demolished the post office, it turns out that they're still in the hotel room. It was kind of a nice transition.
But here's the thing that really got me. The thing with the past and his daughter and everything. Obviously, his daughter had some terminal illness, and he obviously lost her. And everything. When she came back, I mean, no surprise, right? But the scene itself, I really enjoyed. It was really emotional. I mean, the acting was phenomenal on John Cusack's part.
It wasn't scary, but it was
no. It was just
suspenseful, but it was good. Emotion. It was very good acting.
Because he thinks his daughter is there, and I mean, if you've ever lost anyone really close to you, like it really got to me. Mm-hmm. Like, and when she just turns to dust,
that was really,
and he really just. Good. He's just like, you can't.
He's like trying to scrape her up too.
Yeah, he's like, don't. He's like, you can't do that. You can't take her again. He's like, I can't handle losing her a second time, kind of thing. Yeah. And God, it gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, that was a really good part. Yeah, it was a good story part, not necessarily a good for a horror movie.
The scene itself, I thought was fantastic.
And then we're getting close to the end when the timer's about to hit 0.
Oh, he's giving up. He's like, oh, God damn it. And he's looking at the time.
He's laying on the floor and he sees the timer counting down.
15, 14.
He's like, finally, it's going to happen. It's over. 0 hits and...
It restarts.
It resets. Yeah. It starts at 60. The room is fixed all over again. He's back in his clothes like he was when he first entered the room. And the phone rings. And he goes, why don't you kill me? He goes, oh, we don't believe in killing. That we believe in free will. Unless you want to do our express checkout. And then it has like a noose hanging out. He goes, or you can feel free to live this hour over and over again.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was great.
Yeah.
But we skipped over a lot. We skipped over half an hour of boring schlock that broke up the pace. We didn't talk. Notice how we didn't talk about his past. It was boring. We didn't care about his past. We didn't care about his relationship with his dad. Notice we didn't talk about that when he went to the nursing home. We skimmed over that.
That was kind of irrelevant.
That's what I've been saying. Yeah. That's why this movie was so bad. The pacing was horrible. It could have been great. Like this movie, if they had just cut that out. This is originally a short story, by the way. Obviously, it's not a novel. It's a short story. It's a very short story. So I get why they tried it, but they didn't work. If they had just kept it short and to the point, like an hour 20, I've been fine with it.
God damn it, Zach! You're making me want to change my ratings.
I did that with Last Jedi with me. I'll do it with this one. So I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good. So the ending, it starts all over again. They say express check. I love that. You can do our express checkout. Yeah. There's like a noose in every room. And like he starts to see flashes of all the ghosts killing themselves and all that.
I love how he responds. He's like, "Not your way. I'm not doing it."
You ready? He goes, "Are you ready to check out?" Not your way.
Yeah.
And so remember, I mentioned the important plot device.
Honestly, I really like the effect of the phone melting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was saying
that seemed like
6,
such an old
7,
school like
kill
80s.
your. It was like saying gibberish to kill your family or something like that. It was like 7, 8.
But the phone melting seemed like such like a retro like 80s kind of effect. Like I don't know. Yeah. It was really cool.
Well, and one of my last notes before we finish up with the ending, I said the ending was actually done well enough, and I really enjoyed the ending. I liked the ending. Well, I want to talk about the endings in a second before we get to it. This movie has so many ups and downs, is what I put. Mm-hmm. great movie, but the downs kind of bring it down for me.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the ups are great though. Like, watch it for the ups.
Yeah.
The downs really ruin the movie though. That's the problem. So how's he? He says, "I'm not gonna check out your way." So how's he gonna check out? He looks at that bottle of whiskey he got.
Yep.
And he takes a drink. Because what makes him do it? He originally didn't care, but they invited his wife up. They go, remember they say, "Let's see how your wife feels when she gets here."
Oh yeah, and he's like, "Don't do it."
Yeah,
he's
don't
like,
bring
no,
my wife. And that's when he realizes how he's gonna check out.
Yeah.
He goes over to the whiskey. He drinks some, stuffs a rag in it, lights that mother on fire.
Shuts it in the room.
Yep. He's gonna destroy the room. He's gonna check out, but he's gonna check the room out with him. Great scene, and the wife gets there just as the thing is burning down, and like he's like smoking.
I love it because she's outside, like on the ground, like the fire department's there and everything, and she looks up and there's just this explosion.
Well, that's the best part because he's like smoking that cigarette he has on him. He goes, "I only smoke. It's a doomsday scenario. I quit smoking. Yeah. I'll smoke this," and he puts out, lights it, takes the ashtray. Busts the window for a backdraft.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
It was a backdraft. Okay, yeah. That's why he busted the window.
I didn't actually understand that. I was like, why was there an explosion?
Because that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you're never supposed to open a window up in a fire.
Yeah.
It causes a backdraft.
Okay, I didn't even think about that.
I might have saved your life one day in a
Thank
fire.
you. I know nothing about fire, except I like starting them.
So he does have to explode the room. He does have to basically finish it. Now, before we finish it, I don't know. I told Matt this. Did you know there's 4 endings?
Are there really?
There's 4 different endings.
Apparently, we all saw the same ending.
I think we all saw the director's cut ending. There's one that was originally in theaters. Mm-hmm. There's a director's cut ending, which I think is what we all saw, which I think is the best one. And there's like an international release ending. They showed like in Australia and Europe, and there's like one other one. There's 4 alternate endings. Yeah, because they wanted to leave it ambiguous. Because that's what the short novel did. The short story left his fate ambiguous. And so they had different endings to leave it more ambiguous.
See, that's kind of what I was hoping for.
So there's different things.
But I saw the one that was a definite ending.
Yeah, I think that's the one we all saw.
Okay. Yeah. So he burns up in the room.
He dies.
Yeah.
They go to his funeral and everything, and Samuel L. Jackson comes and he goes, "Your husband," the wife's crying and all that. He goes, "Your husband did a brave thing. He destroyed the room," and like they're telling him that not now's the time, and like he's dragging him away.
Yeah, he said he didn't do it for nothing, or this kind of thing.
Yeah,
and she's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he has his personal effects, and she goes, "I don't want them," and like one of them is his recorder, and Samuel L. Jackson listens to the recorder in his car, and you hear his daughter. Yeah. Remember? You actually hear her.
Yeah, you hear her crying or whatever. Or it's like, "Daddy," or something.
Then he looks in the rearview mirror and he sees like a burned up version of John Cusack, and he turns around, he's not there. Then it slowly pans to the burned room, and you see John Cusack all ghostified, smoking a cigarette there.
Then he like walks out.
His daughter comes in.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
His daughter's there with him, and he walks out.
Okay.
So this ending, I loved it.
But they buried him next to his daughter.
Yes,
like
that's what was signifying.
They're
signifying he's with his daughter.
And his wife even says like they're finally together.
Yeah, so that's what the movie was signifying. I liked this ending. Mm-hmm. The original ending, which I read in theaters, is he doesn't die. He makes up with his wife, and they live happily ever after. Is the original ending.
Yeah, it's a little more lame.
Yeah, I like this ending. I don't necessarily like downer endings, but I like the symbolism and all that. I like martyrs,
which makes the whole background thing significant. So you shit on the background, but it makes that ending makes that significant.
Yeah, but you didn't even realize the daughter was in the room with him until I said it. So does it?
No. But the fact that he was buried next to his daughter, which he sees,
but spending 20 minutes explaining his daughter's slowly dying of a crippling disease.
They actually show that beforehand, where he like sees his own grave and it's next to his daughter's grave.
What I'm saying is they didn't have to spend as much time. Like 5 minutes would have been enough.
You're right.
I mean, I got it right away. I got
and
that.
Again, the whole thing with his
father that went nowhere.
Except for like the references with his book. Like, is your book true? The whole thing with
I didn't need to see that because we knew it was. I mean, that was the whole point. Show, don't tell. All right, let's get into our scores. And before we talk about the last movie, let's get into our scores. So we have a new rating system.
We do.
New rating system. 5 categories. Technically, it's out of 20, or you can do out of 10. It doesn't matter. We want a total score of 100.
I did mine wrong.
I did mine out of 10.
Just double it. That's all you gotta do. I can half mine if that makes it easier for you.
If we're gonna now, I want to change it up.
I'll go over mine
Damn
first.
it.
I'll go over mine first. The 5 things. Remember, in this case, our new category is out of 100. We're going to do it European style, where a 50% is average. Here in the United States, a 70 is average. That's why they do better in schools. I know this because I'm a teacher.
Ooh, I like the European style.
Right? If you get 50%, you're still passing.
Seriously?
That's why they do better than us. They go, oh, European schools are so much better. No, they're not. They're easier. Seriously. They have a
Man, I
grade.
should have gone to Europe at school.
So we're doing the European style. 50% is average.
I've done way better on my SATs.
50% is average. 70% is worth a watch. Great, good. Like 85 and higher is definitely watch. We loved it.
I still like the...
Doing
out of 20, that's so awkward. Doing out of 10.
Then just cut it in half.
I know.
I'll cut mine in half.
But now I can do like 0.5s and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Let me read my first. So here's the category. The first category. The story / scare factor. So in absence of a story, we talk about if it's scary. Just because...
I feel like we should call it thrill factor.
Yeah.
Because, the story scare factor... because this movie isn't exactly scary. It's more thrilling. Yeah.
So remember, this is out of 20, so it's out of 20. So 10 being average in this case. If they focused, here's what I put. If they focused more on the gaslighting, aka subtle spooks, my score would have been higher. Too much focus on the character's backstory. Tell it through the first half hour, not the scary thriller part. Mm-hmm. If you're going to tell the story, tell it in the first half. Don't tell it in the middle of the hotel fucking with you. I said they could have made it more subtle with the fucking with, if they do that. Bring his passive, but more subtle. Don't make it 20-minute segments. Mm. I gave it a 10 out of 20, average.
Oh, wow.
Story, spooks factor, average. The acting was superb. Characterization. What this means is, do you feel sorry if the characters die, essentially? We've all seen those wooden characters, you fucking hate all of them, it's not even worth watching as a character.
I interpreted that a different way, but go ahead.
I like the characterization before the backstory. I like the show not tell. I like how they are written. But once they start talking through the hotel room, it really ruined the characterization for me. The acting was great. I wish I could get this higher, but they did too much on the nose, too much focusing. I gave the characterization a 5 out of 20. It brought the movie down. Wow. That's why. It wasn't... The backstory brought the movie down. It wasn't that it was bad. It just ruined the pace of the movie. It didn't belong in this movie.
Yours makes sense. I did mine differently, but keep going. I'll explain.
Violence and gore. Now...
There weren't any.
Okay.
There wasn't any.
You're thinking of gore. Violence is different. Violence is like the act of, right?
Yeah, but still...
Like the window shutting on his hand and
I want to hear what you say, then.
I didn't give it very high. I'm just saying. It was solid. Here's what I said. So the violence and gore, there's none to be seen, really. A few minor things like a dead body and some bloodstains, but overall very minor.
Yeah, it wasn't even any blood.
It was PG-13, it turns out, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6 out of 20.
Okay.
Again, below average. If you want to make it out of 10, 3 out of 10. Not great. Special effects. Fairly standard fare. Since the movie had a budget, it does better than your typical B-horror movie. Typical. Not as good as Evil Dead, for example. Evil Dead does B-horror right. But that's not saying much, as I said. So the special effects were adequate. Nothing spectacular. The visualization was good, which I put that under special effects visualization. So instead of being low, I put just a below average at an 8 out of 10, 8 out of 20.
Okay.
So just a below average. Finally, our last category, the X factor or uniqueness of a movie. This can save a movie if it's high enough, right? X factor, sometimes you just can't put your tongue on their fingers. You just want to molest it. You just want to molest it. You just can't. Okay, so here's what I put. It started strong, but halfway through the film, they focus more on the surreal rather than the creepy. A haunted room rather than a ghost is more unique than most movies. I bumped up the score because I like the ending. That's why I say I always change the scores around based on stuff. So this score, I gave a 12 out of 20, slightly above average.
Oh.
For the X Factor uniqueness. That's
really interesting because I tied you on that one.
My total score. So I got some final notes. I might start putting this on Facebook or a website so they can read what we actually put in notes, because I actually wrote this out.
Okay.
A potentially unique movie with a creepy factor. However, it is brought down by poor pacing, and who cares about a cold room that breaks apart? I want to see more gaslighting. More stuff like the crazy guy with the hammer that appears in Reflections, or the evil version of Cusack.
They didn't go into that at all.
We see occasionally. No. The last 20 minutes doubles down on straying away from the supernatural. Instead, it has Cusack's character having a Groundhog Day perfect life, only to take it away from him. Way too obvious of a move and further hurt this film. This movie had so much potential at first, but I went from a rapt attention to bored. The ending was very well done, and I wish the quality of the movie could have stayed more consistent. I really wanted to like this movie, but I cannot in good conscience recommend anyone sitting through this movie. We are here to watch these films, so you do not have to. Final score, out of 100. 41 out of 100. So just below average.
All right.
4 out of 10 if you want to be real specific. 4.1. If you are looking for a supernatural film, this isn't necessarily scary. If you're looking for a supernatural film that isn't necessarily scary, you may enjoy this. The movie tries to make you care about the characters, and there were a few instances where it truly shines. I, however, will have to say this movie is a time waster for me. So if you want to waste time, watch it.
Really?
Yes. 41 out of 100. That's my score. I went into real detail. We're trying to make this more official, if you guys can't tell.
All right.
I actually went all out.
Roger Ebert over here.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking.
You gave it a 41?
God damn.
Are you going to do the average?
Yeah, I just did the math on mine.
What do you have to say, sir?
Well, I'm not going to go into as much detail as Zach did, because I didn't take much notes.
I'm actually gonna post I'm gonna post like a picture I sent these guys. Like it's a sneak peek on Facebook. I'll show you guys the notes I took.
I didn't even see what that was. All I saw was a page, and I had to like zoom in all the way, and it was still blurred.
I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. So like when I post on Facebook, you guys can't like see.
You're
what
like
it was.
sneak peek. I'm like, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
How many commercial breaks are we allowed?
All right, well, let's do this.
Do this, and while Brad's talking, I'll check out, and you can go pee.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, let's see here. Story scare factor. I gave it a 12 out of 10.
12 out of 10, 12 out of 20.
12 out of 20.
Right.
It exceeded my expectations.
It was amazing.
12 out of 20 for...
See, I wrote it all out of 10 because I'm an idiot. And
no, that's okay. I mean, it makes more sense. It makes more sense. It makes more sense out of 10, but 20 for 100. We want to be unique.
Yeah. So, characterization, I gave it a 10 out of 20.
Fair enough.
Violent score, I gave it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 20. Fair enough.
Fuck.
Okay, yeah.
Special effects, 14 out of 20.
Wow, okay.
And X Factor uniqueness of the movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I gave it another 14 out of 20.
All right, what's your final score?
Final score is 54.
So average.
Okay.
Yeah, so average. I liked it.
So
you made me think you were going to give it like you made me think I was giving it an 80
100.
or something. Yeah, like the way you were talking, like I love this movie.
I like to build things up and then...
I was actually pretty close to you, Matt. It was
okay.
Yeah. So
copying off my notes.
I'm actually not upset with you, man. Like I thought, because like
I was looking at you.
That's a
like,
fair.
ew.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I really do think. Like I'm usually a little lower than these guys. It's rare that I'm higher, but I think like average. Like I'm just slightly below average. 41 is.
Yeah, I was
like,
actually
slightly,
surprised by your score.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
It wasn't like I said. I wanted to like it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot higher if it wasn't for like that. It would have been like an 80 out of. But.
Well, if you want to go during the commercial break while I'm talking.
Well, I want to hear what you got to say.
I'm not doing another commercial break.
Okay, so
I don't want to act again.
Story, scare factor, whatever. I give it a 14 out of 20.
Okay.
I enjoyed the story. I mean, the story itself was phenomenal.
It was good. I just didn't like.
Okay, not phenomenal. That was,
yeah, that's like a 19 out of 20.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get real.
No, I love the story. Again, you brought to light some things that I didn't enjoy about it, like complaints that I couldn't vocalize myself. Mm-hmm. The scare factor, it wasn't really scary. It was more thrilling.
Yeah.
It was but the characterization, I give it a 17.
Really?
But the reason when I was thinking characterization, I really loved John Cusack's character specifically.
Okay.
I loved his character. Outside of that, the way he reacted to his environment, to everything that was going on, I thought he did an amazing job as his character.
To be fair, my characterization is probably really low because I was so upset at the backstory, ruining everything. Like originally, I had an original score. It was like 12 out of 20. But then once the backstory, I was so pissed. I just cut in half.
See, I really enjoyed how he comes off. He doesn't care. He's a skeptic.
Yeah.
Into oh shit, this might be real. He might be believing into this in this stuff. To this is really messing with me. I can't handle this anymore. To okay, I give up. Like I don't know.
I get it. The acting was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was his acting alone.
I cannot complain about the acting at all.
No one else's character in the movie was like even really that great. I mean,
no.
Samuel Jackson.
But, I mean, Samuel Jackson plays the same person in every movie.
He's a very minor role in that film.
Yeah, he's in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
He had one great scene with him,
yeah.
and then he had a couple other like little scenes.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, not knocking him down. He's great, but
yeah.
Violence score 4 out of 20.
Mm-hmm.
There's barely any special effects. I gave it a 15. I enjoyed the special effects in the movie. Some of the continuity of it I enjoyed because there was the whole it started like pouring down inside of it, whatever, and everything.
I did like the ship starting to move in the painting.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel like it should have been a horror or thriller.
Like even a little bit later on, like there's a scene where he's like the floor is still wet. They actually kept the continuity of the film.
I do remember that. Like he slides near his bed and you see the little
and you see it like
carpet.
And that's what I actually enjoyed because they keep the continuity of that.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So and then the when the room freezes over, he's walking around. I really enjoyed the special effects of this. The X Factor uniqueness of the movie, I gave it a 12. I enjoyed the story. Again, you brought up some very good points that I agree with you on. But yeah, 12 out of 20.
All right.
So adding that up in my head, it's like, I don't know.
Meh.
Did you not add it up?
I did not add it up.
Jesus H.
Calculator.
If only I had a device on my computer that does
Read the scores aloud.
14. 17.
Oh, wait.
4. 15. 12.
62.
Oh, wow.
62. You liked
good.
it more than all of us.
I really enjoyed the
I'm
movie.
going to strangle you. Yeah, go pee.
I really enjoyed this
want to
movie.
pee. Take a tinkle. I kind of want to jump across this room and like strangle you after hearing that.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I had a good time watching it.
God, I can't wait to hear how much... Because I'm kind of probably flipped because I liked Vacancy better.
I liked it, but...
I get why you might not, but I liked Vacancy because it was true to what they said it was a beautiful.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed 1408. You brought to light some things that I completely agree with. Again, but
all right, let's quickly go over the review of Vacancy. This one's gonna be a little easier because it's less complicated, so it's gonna be a lot quicker, less complicated, very straightforward movie, which I actually kind of like. I actually mentioned how I like how short and to the point the movie is.
Yeah, no, it really is. What I thought interesting, words. I'm not drunk. It actually had some more. I wouldn't say known people, but people that are more that have done things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the two main characters are.
I'm not even talking about that. The people that made the film.
Oh, they made the film. Who made it? So, Vacancy came out in 2007. It was directed by this. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if you guys caught this. The guy's name is Nimrod Antal.
Oh yeah.
I laughed really hard.
You know, Nimrod's a Greek name.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I heard Nimrod, and I'm like...
Nimrod's a common name in Greek.
So it's directed by Nimrod Antal. He did the movie Predators, and he did the movie... Zach won't care. So, Matt, he did the movie Metallica Through the Never.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He directed
Gross.
that. It was written by Mark L. Smith. He was known for writing the Martyrs.
Gross.
The Revenant, and Overlord.
Huh. Wait, Martyrs? The original or remake?
Probably the remake.
I haven't
probably
seen
the American version because it's American and there's a French version.
We got to do Martyrs, guys. Cause I've been dying to see it.
The French version.
Yeah. We got to do Martyrs.
May have done the remake. Then.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
Gross. First off, you said Overlord.
He did, yeah. He wrote Overlord.
Watch our 2018.
He was at least one of them.
Disappointments.
More respect to that one.
And you'll know why. I'm not happy to hear that.
Okay. The cast includes Luke Wilson. He plays David Fox in this film. He's known for Idiocracy and Old School. Idiocracy, I point that out as a horror film. Used to be a comedy.
Yeah, now it's a documentary.
It's reality. Kate Beckinsale.
So hot!
She plays Amy Foxy.
She was so I was so distracted.
It's just Amy Fox. Never mind.
I was so distracted. She is so beautiful. I can't. I wanted her to break out her English accent. That would have
Oh,
I know.
For you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I forgot she was English.
With a name like Beckinsale.
Well, I mean, no, in the movie. Anyway,
well, she has an American accent.
She's known for other horror movies, specifically horror movies such as Van Helsing, Underworld, and Click.
Yeah, there you go. There's your joke.
Click.
She was very hot.
Have you seen Click?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen Van Helsing and Underworld?
No.
Those are horrible.
I've seen Underworld.
All right. So, we can get into the nitty-gritty.
Hold on. It's also got Frank Whaley.
Okay.
Hold on. I appreciated this guy. He played the
I know who
manager.
Frank Whaley is, yeah.
Okay, you know who he's in?
I don't know where you naming him from.
Okay, he's in Pulp Fiction.
Who's he?
Oh, yeah.
He plays Brett.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the big brains.
That's right.
Look at the big brains on Brett.
Yeah.
I forgot about
I thought that was fun. But it's also got Ethan Embry.
Who's Ethan Embry?
Ethan Embry, he's in The Devil's Candy.
Oh, yeah.
He's the main guy.
He's the
jacked
mechanic.
up. He's the jack dude, the big metal lover.
Yeah.
He's the main character. He's the Jesus.
I know, but who is he in?
He's the mechanic.
Oh, he's a mechanic.
Yeah, he's the mechanic.
Got
and
it.
that's literally his title in the movie. Like, I looked up his name. Yeah, he's the mechanic.
The mechanic.
All right.
And he's also in, like, a whole bunch of 90s teen...
Good for him.
Teen rom-coms or whatever.
All right.
So...
it's a very straightforward movie. A couple... and here's what I want to bring off the bat. This is a movie where they didn't have to hit me in the face with the backstory. I knew the backstory based on the 30 seconds. True. That's all you need. The first note was, the couple is so in love! Exclamation marks. Like, they're like bitching at each other the entire time.
I like how...
like,
she's like, Jesus, hit the squirrel! Or something. Because he like swerves.
It's just snotty remarks back and
forth
for like the
constant.
first 20 minutes.
Yeah. And that's how you do it, through the dialogue. We don't need to see what happens. It's perfect because we get it. Something happened. They are not lovey-dovey. They are on the rocks, very similar to 1408. So you get that. Yet they're driving together. And I liked how they slowly piece together why they're still together. Mm-hmm. Again, not through backstory, but through the dialogue as they talk. You're able to piece it together. So they're driving. He left the highway, and she's like she's like giving snotty remarks. Why did you leave the highway? And he goes, "There's a wreck. I want to take a shortcut." And now they're on the back roads. How all horror movies start. Back roads. He swerves to miss a raccoon. They They go off the road, and it causes damage to the car. Luckily, the car is able to make it to a gas station. They're like a remote area. It's a gas station. Attached to the gas station mechanic, whatever, is a motel. Mo, as in Motown. A motel, and so they look at the gas prices. They mention, it's like 20 cents or whatever. I can't remember how much was the gas. It was like ridiculously cheap. They obviously hadn't changed the price. Anyway, it looks like they missed it. Then the mechanic comes out and he was like, I'm on my way home. They did the whole fake out scary thing. Oh, I'm scared. The mechanic's outside. And he's like,
oh yeah, where he just appears out of nowhere.
He's
like, there's no one around, and then he's just like in the window.
So he takes a look at their car, and he goes, "Yeah, your fan blade's all bent." I don't know if that's a thing. I feel like that sounds like fake mechanic talk to me. That sounds like something when you go to like a mechanic shop, and they're like, "Yeah, your fan blade's bore bod." Yeah, okay, that'll be like $10,000. Oh, that makes sense because I know nothing about cars. Take my money.
It was a bad phalange.
Yeah. So he goes, as long as you don't go too fast. You should be able to make it to the next town, which is like 20 miles. Just don't like floor it. And he goes, thank you very much. They get like 2 miles, and the car breaks down. Again, they are so in love.
They are. I liked. The mechanic gives her a sparkler.
Oh yeah.
And she's like a little kid, out the window. It's blowing in the wind, and then he was just like, oh shit, I should have just gotten you sparklers.
Yeah.
And then she just like throws it out the window like what a dick, you
My
know?
notes, I put Kate Beckinsale is distractingly hot. I dedicate a whole... Also, number 3...
Zach said he wrote a song about her and everything.
Dead kid,
Nice.
so she's available? That's what I put. They mentioned briefly, again, they don't
They
say
didn't
it.
even really go into that.
Exactly,
at
it was
all.
perfect. I got it. They go, we should have taken Jack on road trips more. That's
Yeah.
all they said. And I'm like, perfect, get it. They're on the rocks because the kid died and there's a fallout from that.
Okay.
It's all I needed. Not 20 minutes of exposition. So they walk back because they're only 2 miles out, and they go to the motel to see if they can call someone. And Whaley is just the guy. He plays a manager. Plays a great creep.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah.
He's
Right
so
from the start.
creepy.
Well, they walk in, and
Yeah.
all you hear is a woman
Screaming
Yeah.
over, like scream bloody murder. Like I first thought like someone's having sex or something. Like he's watching a porno.
It sounded very
Yeah.
sexual.
But I mean, it sounded like torture.
Yeah, like I was like, what's going on? Like I thought it was gonna be a fake out. I mean, it kind of was. They go, I'm sorry. You know, he comes out. He goes, sorry. You know, they're still screaming. He goes, oh, sorry. Movie. And he has the remote and he presses.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, like he didn't notice it was happening.
Yeah. So it's so funny. Like there's a couple like funny exchanges. Like, you know, this is the way he talks. Like he's kind of an asshole. The manager. I love it. Like he's a subtle asshole about all that.
By the way, I bet no one knows how many beers I had down here. I just keep pulling them out.
Graveyard worth of beers, I'm sure.
As I'm like terribly trying to not like show them like.
Yeah.
I might as well just whip them all
So
out, man.
like they're like, yeah, sorry, he's not the mechanic's not be back till tomorrow. They're like, well, where's the nearest mechanic? He goes, oh, it's in Lafayette, however it is, which is 20 miles from here.
Lafayette?
Nah, I was called something else, like London. I don't know.
Crittersville.
London?
Yeah.
It's in London.
And he goes, oh,
It's
like,
about 4,000 miles
he
away.
goes, do you mind if I use your phone? It's like, all we got's a payphone. Takes dimes. And he goes, it's like, you wouldn't have that, you know, he's like, just being
I love that
snarky.
part, yeah.
He gets a dollar bill out and he starts counting. He's taking his time counting out the dimes
Yeah.
for him.
He's like, you don't have to give me exact change. He's like, wait.
And the best part is he says, as he's going out to call, he goes, of course they're not going to be open. He goes through this whole thing and tells them they're not even going to be open. And he's like, and so they decide, okay, let's stay at this motel for the morning.
Right here. Right at this scene. I love this whole scene right here. This guy is creepy as shit. I loved him as an actor right off the bat. And that's why I had to look him up. I'm like, what the hell is
Yeah,
else is
he
this
does
guy
a great.
from?
I know from Daredevil.
And I don't know him from anything else. Like I saw he was Brett in Pulp Fiction.
He's
and
a corrupt.
that's like it.
He's a corrupt cop in Daredevil.
He was in
Okay.
the movie The Doors.
Okay.
Anyway.
I feel like he plays a fantastic bad guy.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. So he's really great. He's one of the shining stars. Really sticks out that he's a creepy
Yeah.
manager. Like
Oh,
he has a mustache and all.
He's my
Like,
favorite character in the whole movie.
So they decide to. Oh, here's what I put. It's a creepy hotel manager gives a David Spade type of vibe. I just gotta give it like creepy like David Spade.
I can't wait to get sued by David Spade. That'd be great.
No one listens to us, so we're good.
So they decide to get a hotel room for the night. They'll call in the morning, whatever. A motel room, I should say. It's one of those outdoor motels. You know how it is, like really shitty.
Where you take a shitty
Prostitute,
yeah,
or do drugs.
A
Whatever.
shitty prostitute.
both
at the same time.
shitty prostitute,
Shitty drugs.
and shitty drugs.
So they get a key.
Something you're gonna shoot.
They get a key to go in.
Cocaine's a high end drug. You take that to a hotel.
That's a classy.
They get inside, and the room's disgusting. Of course, your typical motel room.
The first thing that Kate Beckinsale says, she looks at the bed and she's like, "I'm sleeping with my clothes on."
And I was just like, God damn it!
Yeah, but my first thought is, why would you sleep in the bed if you got to sleep with the like? I wouldn't want to touch the bed.
Yeah.
like at all.
Yeah, just sleep.
Why,
at that
or
point.
why not?
I'm gonna sleep on the couch over there or
Yeah.
something.
Or why not request another room?
Yeah.
Or, you know, I mean, because
Or
it's a
just
motel.
hoof
You've
it.
obviously never had to stay in a
they
gross
got
motel.
upgraded.
I mean, I would
That's
like to.
why.
I would like to.
Yeah,
add
that
all
was
the red flags that they
that was the
encountered.
honeymoon suite.
Yeah.
The best room. So
I mean, it had a whole sitting area.
So this
man.
it doesn't take long for stuff to hit the fan. Does not take long. Like they
Stuff? Shit.
we're a family friendly. Fucking family-friendly podcast.
Seriously.
We had this conversation before.
Dude, don't make Zach hit you again.
Oh, God.
God, you're lucky I'm not wearing
Help
a belt.
me.
You're lucky I'm not wearing pants.
Oh, yeah, we were going to wear pants because no one can see us from the waist down.
I feel like I'm visible.
Oh, I want to take off
You're
my drawers.
fine.
Okay, so it starts right away. It starts with... Well, first off, they see these VHS videos. And
This
all
is
that.
my favorite part of the whole movie.
But like it starts before even that. It starts with knocking.
Oh yeah, the whole knocking.
The knocking,
yeah,
which is kind of creepy because it wasn't like soft knocking. It was like
someone's banging on the door,
yeah.
and he goes to look who it is. No one's there, and then someone's banging on the door that from the attached room. Because apparently even motels have that.
Yeah,
the attached room door.
Yeah,
I've seen that in hotels.
Yeah,
but.
I mean, it's for emergencies.
I don't stay in that many.
It's for emergencies, like if you're fire or whatever, you can't get out your door.
You can't get out the door that goes directly outside.
Well, like if the handle's hot.
Jump out the window.
Yes.
How is that? Really?
I'm talking about for a hotel, not a motel, my friend. It's
a
for
hotel,
safety.
that makes sense.
Well, what happens if the door jams and breaks?
Yeah, but in a motel, why? It leads directly outside.
Okay, also think about the type of people who are in those rooms. Let's say they need to get in. The police need to get in or someone to get in. You go through an adjacent room, go in.
There's a big window from the outside you just break into.
You would die in this movie.
You just shoot them from the big window.
Okay.
I mean, if I was a cop.
I'm saying they have to sneak in. Okay. So, I said the knocking was creepy. Also, Beckinsale was hot. I put that in multiple times. So
your notes are similar to mine.
So, the knocking, they go to the manager. It's not a big deal. The manager says he'll take care of it. It's probably some kids goofing around. And he goes, fine, whatever. The knocking stops. Then he finds some VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And he decides to put it in and watch some TV.
It's torture porn.
And again, this is my favorite part of the film. Because he's watching the tapes.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was like, a snuff film. This is fun. And he's like watching him and he's just like, wow, okay. And he's like, well, maybe something else is in here. He's just like, doesn't care.
Well, he slowly realizes.
Yeah. He's like, this is weird. And he puts in another tape. And then he's like, wait a second.
He looks at the curtains.
Yeah.
He's like,
that's the same as that. That's the, wait.
Yeah.
And he realizes it's that room.
And like that, this is why I like this movie. This movie has competent protagonists. They're competent. None of this, like immediately he's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. Mm. He doesn't think, oh, maybe, no. He goes, we got to get out of here now. We're in a murder room. That's what he says. Immediately he knows what's going on. And he immediately goes to where the cameras are. He knows where the cameras are. So it's not like he's an idiot. He actually uses his brain throughout this movie. That's why I liked it.
Well, he's looking at the film and he's like, where's that being shot from? He's looking
he can see the cameras and he goes, and instead he goes, okay, we gotta get out. And then he realizes they can't go out the front door because the manager probably has heard them.
They're watching
the thing. And so that he realizes, crap, the manager knows we know, so they gotta play it cool. So he uses his brain. I like it. Instead, they're not dumb.
Which is interesting because I like Luke Wilson. I like his movies.
I like him better than Owen Wilson.
He himself, I feel like he plays kind of a bland character in everything he does. His character in this film is
old school. Yeah.
But
he uses his head.
Right. He is.
Well, like we're going to talk about in a second.
Competent protagonist. That's a good way to put it.
They find out they're trapped. They can't go outside. He tries a call. Like he has Kate Beckinsale use herself as a distraction by making noise and stuff. And he runs out and goes to the payphone. They find out and they drive a car right into him. Or he calls the cops and the manager picks up. So the payphone doesn't call out. It's not an outside line. So he goes, crap, that's, and then he looks and he sees a car and it's about to hit him. He jumps out of the payphone. The car chases him all the way back inside. He gets in. And this is when they realize they can't escape a normal way. So what does he do? Uses his fucking brain. How? He watches the tapes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And studies. And he figures out that these people are getting in somehow. And he uses the tapes, watches it from different angles, and he realizes...
And he's leaving her in the corner. He's like, we need to make
sure... He covers one. I actually mentioned it, why wouldn't you cover the cameras? Because he's smart. He covers one, and he wants to make sure... He thinks if he covers the cameras, they'll know something's up.
Yeah.
And they'll try to come in and see so they can see. So he wants one camera to still work, so she's still in the frame.
Yeah.
And so...
And he tells her, he's like, I want you to stay here to let them know that we're not trying to escape.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is smart. Yes, I like it.
So I said Luke Wilson actually uses his brain. Very rare in a horror movie. So yeah, he uses his brain. He figures out there's a secret entrance in the bathroom. Yeah, there's like an underground tunnel. So they go in the underground tunnel, and it leads to the manager's office.
I thought the tunnel was kind of goofy.
Yeah, well, it's because it goes into every room.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's like... they go to the manager's office. There's the phone. Kate Beckinsale picks up. Says she's also really hot. Huh. She picks up the phone. She's calling 911, and the manager's about to walk in. Here's what I say.
Oh, no, no. Oh, wait. This is where she finds the masturbation station.
Yeah, the masturbation station.
Yeah. That's what I have in my notes.
All the different movie videos.
Oh, yeah.
That you can see into everyone.
On.
Yeah.
That many screens.
Yeah, come on.
The guy with the mustache.
You
know what he's doing.
Here's what I say, because she doesn't finish her phone call. Why not finish your 911 call instead of forgetting to hang up the phone? If you're going to disappear, hang up the phone, or just say, we're at the Pine Motel real quick, and then hang up.
They keep forgetting where they are.
Yeah,
they're like, we're in a motel.
But the movie does something interesting. Again, the cops actually trace the fucking phone call, which really surprised me.
Yeah.
The cops.
I love that part. They actually show up.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit! Like the cops are actually doing their job.
Yeah, it's actually just one old little wiener.
It's one guy, one wiener.
And he gets scared.
Before we get to that,
hold on. Why do they always send one?
Yeah, well, they actually do that a lot, and that's actually common police procedure because a lot of these are waste of police resources and all that.
I mean,
there's a procedure you call back up as soon as and then you wait. Why he didn't call back up when he?
No.
Well, I know why he tried to call back up eventually, but why didn't he call? Why was? I'll mention that he's like the cops in the room for like 45 minutes, and before he goes, maybe I should do something. Anyway, he's also old and way out of shape. But
one day
before the cop comes, they're like hiding in like the mechanic place or whatever. Remember, they're hiding there, and they're having this deep conversation, right? And they're talking about how they're gonna make up and all this, and like I love you and all that, very cliche. And I put, is right before you die the right time to reconcile and have a deep conversation? Is that the time really to have a 20-minute conversation about your feelings, like when you're being hunted down?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Then maybe figure out how to get the fuck out of there was what I would do.
You're about to die. You'd be like, oh, I'm sorry.
I would have hoofed it from the mechanic shop.
I did.
Okay, Kate, I have an idea.
And then you
take off all your clothes. They'll be distracted. I was waiting for that move.
They'll be like, boobies! Ah!
Everyone knows a man's weakness is his balls and boobies.
Balls.
So anyway, the cop finally shows up, and here's what I put. Horror movies really do not portray cops as intelligent or great protectors, do they?
No, they don't.
He's just... I mean, at first he kind of seems competent. Like I thought, like okay, he's gonna be a lazy, but no, he does his due diligence. He figures it out.
We completely skipped over a whole thing, by the way.
What, the trucker?
The tunnels.
You already brought the tunnels.
Oh.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
They use the tunnels to escape through the
like
manager's
a huge
office.
thing, though. Yeah,
they go through the tunnels. It's like a spider web.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to anything you were saying. No, I thought that was cool. That's how they were getting them the whole time.
Yeah. So the cop, they finally figure out the cop's there, and he's on their side, and they all run to the police car, and of course the walkie-talkie, dispatch has been cut,
and he's like, "What?"
Starts the car, doesn't work. He goes, "Well, obviously I'm a mechanic and not a cop. Let me check the engine because I'm sure they didn't destroy it." So when he goes out, opens the hood, and what happens? He gets killed.
Stabbed.
Yeah, immediately.
They stab him.
Yeah,
right away.
So I'm like, there's the cop mentality.
And then I love how they run away, and the manager's like, "This was your fault. You didn't have to bring him into this.
You basically put the knife in his back."
Yeah. Look at the big brains on Brett.
Yeah. So they get back in their original room or one of the rooms, and they're like hiding, and then they find out that there's like a crawl space vent that she can hide in
the ceiling.
In the ceiling, yeah.
But no, they go to the room right next to theirs.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's no cameras in there.
Yeah.
So he's like, he finds a crawl space and he tells her to get up in there and then wait.
Yeah, and then he decides, I'm going to be a genius and sneak out. And as soon as he opens the door,
he gets stabbed.
Like, immediately.
Yeah, like right away.
Yep.
Like, oh, you're in here? Oh, oops. Oh, knife.
I put tries to sneak out, gets stabbed immediately. What do you think was going to happen? I mean...
He was in Idiocracy.
Yeah. I also put...
This particular individual gets stabbed.
Here's what I put. I put Luke Wilson's death seemed very lackluster and forgettable. Probably not dead. We'll see if I'm right.
I thought that immediately.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not impactful.
He's dead?
Yeah, it wasn't impactful.
Oh, no.
So Kate Beckinsale's like, finally, that weak-jawed person is dead. I can get with Zach, and we can have a new kid. And I'm like, thank you.
Finally.
Yeah. Our kid probably won't grow up to be retarded with retard cancer and die.
Retard cancer?
That's how she died. That's what I inferred. They didn't tell me the backstory. I get to make it up.
That's worse than space cancer.
I get to make up the background story.
Retard cancer.
Retard cancer. So here's the thing I like. This is the best part of the movie. She gets in the car and like she just drives hog wild as the two killers bust in.
Yes. Okay. That was my favorite scene. Aside from the other scene that I was talking about how it was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
No, the guy jumps in the sunroof and he's like trying to grab her and she's driving around like crazy and then she's driving toward the motel and the guy jumps out in front of her and he's like, ah! Yeah. And then she just crashes right in.
That is
just
my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Signs. When the wife gets pinned against a tree.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what happens.
Like in Scary Movie 3.
Yeah. And he fucking lives.
Hey, can I get a ride?
Yeah. She broke her wiener?
No, that's what was fucked up. It was Ethan Embry.
Yeah.
Who gets pinned.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, he's like, oh, no, oh, and he's like coughing up blood and all this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the guy inside didn't.
Oh, the guy inside, like,
did not fare well.
His back broke immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it was like.
Gets out, and then the manager's death was kind of lame. It was a simple.
Well, they had
the
the whole squabble.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm gonna smack you, and he like smacks her a little bit, and then she's like, oh, a gun, bang,
and then
shoots
bang,
him like
bang,
3 times.
Yeah.
And then here's the part I didn't like. Goes over to Luke Wilson. He's like, oh no, your body's still warm. What?
He's like,
my terrible acting. I'm still alive. She's like, oh my god, you're still alive. 911, come help me.
Yeah.
And then it ends. Suddenly. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Credits. All right. I kind of flew through this because it's very by the numbers, and we also kind of want to end this in less than 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
We do go a little long. It is our first video episode, though.
It is.
All right.
I'm sure you guys are still listening.
Of course.
Watching.
Masturbating.
Here we go. Thank you. Movie ranking categories.
I had them the entire time, by the way.
Masturbating. No, I'm saying our viewers are masturbating
to
us.
Zach talk and just
of course.
Really,
yeah. It really sets the mood.
My shrill voice.
Brad! Kate Beckinsale!
Alright, we all want to know how you really feel about this movie, Zach, because you didn't express enough.
Yeah. I flew, like I said, but I'm going to focus more on that because this is the more important parts. Here we go. Story scare factor out of 20. I said starts off well, but the pacing with the suspense is all over the place. Again, pacing is an issue. Deviates about 50 minutes in. Where there's it's more about the tunnels and stuff. The issue with these types of movies is the cat and mouse can only be creepy for so long until it becomes normalized in the movie. Right? It's only creepy for so long that you kind of okay.
I agree with you.
That's the problem with cat and mouse movies. Well, I like the idea of the protagonists fighting back. If not careful, it can take away from the scares. Because this is the scare story factor. So because they're competent, it kind of takes away from the scares. You're like, okay, they're competent enough. However, the story is written well enough to gain some points back. 12 out of 20. So slightly above average.
Oh, wow.
For the story?
Story scare factor.
Okay.
A mix, right? I mean, it's not scary, but the story kind of builds it up a little bit. It's written well enough. I mean, it didn't knock me out of the moon or whatever. It's slightly above average, right?
Kept you entertained.
Yeah.
You watched the whole thing. That means something.
Yeah. Characterization. Not as ham-fisted as 1408. Still on the nose, but at least they don't spend way too much time going over the background.
Let's go back to the fisting.
Yeah.
We can infer enough. Not amazing, but the main couple act three-dimensional enough, make me want them to survive. 14 out of 20. Characterization. They were likable enough. Like, they weren't assholes, you know. They were three-dimensional enough through their conversation. They felt real.
They were only assholes to each other.
Yeah.
Not to the audience. Violence
and gore. Not much in the way of gore. The main scare factor they go for is suspense. Right? It's the cat and mouse.
There's more violence in the videos.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about... While this may hurt the overall score, I took into account the visualization style and the type of movie with my score. My go-to score for movies that are not meant to be violent, but they do try to do well enough, is a 10 out of 20. That is not to say there's no violence or gore. I said the last half hour has plenty, and as do the VHS tapes. The last half hour has a lot of gore and violence, like when she's like the car scene.
I love that car scene.
I know, that was great.
Special effects. Much like the gore and violence category, they were not going for a special effect romp. It's very by the books. Mm-hmm. The effects and scares are real enough, and this is not a B horror movie, so it's well written.
Yeah.
It looks okay. However, the visuals were bland, and the motel was not very unique looking. It is because of this, my score is slightly below average, even though they were not going for a specific kind of visual. 8 out of 20. So, below average. The X Factor, uniqueness. Reminds me of The Strangers.
Yeah.
This does not remind you of The Strangers.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing.
However, they were written... However, I said they both came out roughly at the same time.
Okay.
They both came out around 2007. So Vacancy is not necessarily copying it. It's just coincidence. Still unique enough premise and plenty of suspense with cat and mouse. I gave it a 13 out of 20. Final notes. Here we go, before I get my final score. Overall, a fairly decent horror movie. While there is no gore to speak of, the violence is subtle enough to make up for it. If you like cat and mouse suspense movies where the protagonists actually use their head, then you will enjoy this film. With this type of movie, a body count is not what they are going for. It is not necessarily a bad thing. The movie is suspenseful enough and does not have an unruly runtime. Jesus Christ. And people can see why we're... Jesus. Many movies like this try to drag out way too much and overstay their welcome. This is a short and fairly simple horror movie.
Just like that burp.
Oh,
just unsettling enough, though it is nothing extraordinary. I will say it is worth a watch thanks to the tight writing and short length. The one thing that held this movie back was the ending. It felt rushed and definitely was a cop-out. It is very rare, though, for a horror movie to stick the landing, so to speak.
Jesus,
most horror movies don't have a good ending.
Why are we in this?
Well, you're making us look bad.
Damn!
You guys literally said, Zach, make sure you take notes. So I took notes.
Took all the notes. I wrote down something.
Again, here are my notes.
I got like 3 pages of notes. You guys told me. You guys are like, okay, we really need to be professional in this one. We need to,
Whoa. No one used the word professional.
Okay, no, look at my phone.
We are professionals.
While Brad's talking, because I don't pay attention, I'll look it up. So my final score is a pretty simple 60 out of 100.
Wow. That's a little more than 1408 for you, isn't it?
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
What was the last one? 52?
41.
Yeah, 41.
Yeah, same thing.
And that's because, again, what really left it up was the characterization didn't drag it down in this case. The characterization really hurt 1408.
Okay, all right.
Matthew, while you're doing that,
I want detailed description like Zach had.
I'll give a 10-page.
You do have
review.
10 pages there.
I do.
Oh wait, that's 10. That's
lines.
5 lines.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Story, I gave it a 6 out of 20. Characterization, I gave it an 8 out of 20. Violence and gore, I love that car scene. It was amazing. And also the tapes.
Hold on. Based on that, you're giving it what?
Well, I probably should have raised that score a bit. I gave it an 8 out of 20.
8 out of 20? Okay.
Yeah. It could have been more bloody for me.
Okay.
The tapes. No. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed this, just because I always got to point this out. It came this close to showing Bibby.
It did.
It did.
And then you could see it. And then it was very hard to see though because she was in motion.
There was one.
But
she was in motion. She was in motion, so it was hard to see.
So when it was showing the tapes, I'm like, okay, this is going to be good.
Like, if you really want, you got to go frame by frame.
Yeah. We all know what he was really looking at when he was slow motion through those tapes.
He's like, hold on, honey, let me really look at these.
Okay, so special effects, 2 out of 20.
Okay.
2 out of 20. Okay.
X Factor uniqueness of the movie, I gave it a 6 out of 20.
Okay.
Which brings a total score to 30.
Jesus.
Wow.
You really gutted it.
Matt hated this.
Yeah. 1408 was better in my opinion.
Oh my god.
I think I'm like right in between you guys here. So,
kind of upset.
Story and scare factor, I gave it a 12. You know, solid story.
Yeah.
You know.
I couldn't find the text. I couldn't find the text where you told me that.
Because it doesn't exist.
It does.
Characterization, I give it a 10. I give it an average. You know, 10 out of 20. It was average. You know, whatever. Luke Wilson, Again, I like what he's in. He's not the greatest actor, but still, I watch him. I'm like, oh, it's Luke Wilson. All right, let's see what he
things.
Yeah, let's see what he does this time. Balance Segura, I gave it a 10. That's too high.
Really?
It is.
You know what violence is?
Okay.
Those VHS is pretty violent.
Yeah.
The car scene is pretty violent.
Yeah, but
the cop getting killed was pretty violent.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I still give it a 10.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're trying to lower it on me. I'm like, at least deserves average. Come
on. Special effects, I give it an 8.
Yeah.
It's practical effects. Nothing crazy, whatever. X Factor, I give it a 6. You know, it's cat and mouse. You know, it's not the first time it's been done.
Name 4 other movies.
But name 4 other movies.
Okay, name 2 other movies besides The Strangers.
Cat and Mouse?
Yeah.
Last House on the Left.
That's a rape movie. It doesn't count. Doesn't count. That's a rape movie.
They're looking for people to kill.
That's not really cat and mouse. This entire movie was cat and mouse.
Literally any slasher film.
Yeah. All the Jason movies.
Yeah, but okay, you're getting
literally any slasher film, cat and mouse.
That's not a cat and mouse
not
movie.
So much I'm pinned down and they're trying to get to me.
That's what a cat and mouse.
Okay, so
they're running circles around. That's what cat and mouse do. They run circles.
So you're thinking, okay, I'm in literally what this movie is about.
Yes, that's a cat and mouse movie.
I'm not a smart man.
They are helpless.
But I know what love is.
Okay. I stick with it. I give it a 6.
All right. Knowing you don't know what a cat and mouse.
I give it a 6. So
say Tom and Jerry.
No, I can actually add this up. 46.
46. May God have mercy on your souls.
Honestly, no. Here's the thing. I'll look on that. I'm like, I feel like that's a little bit low. I enjoyed the movie.
Okay, to be fair, I feel like
the ratings I give it seems like I didn't enjoy the movie.
When we write this in the moment, it's different than when you stew on it. Like, I think I might have given Vacancy a little too high of a score. I still think it's above 1408, but I don't think it's as high above 1408 as I gave it.
I enjoyed 1408 better.
I did too.
Really?
Better, more, yeah.
More. That's the word.
I enjoyed it more.
I enjoyed it gooder.
That's the word I was looking for. Gooder. Yeah. No, I enjoyed 1408. I thought. I don't know why I keep bringing this up. I thought the emotion in 1408 was so much better. Like, the characterization, I thought it was a lot better than this film. I agree with what you're saying. It was straight into the point. It was a slasher film. It's a cat and mouse.
It does what it says it does.
It's good guys, bad guys, but they're two very different films. I mean, you're talking paranormal versus just straight up killers.
Yeah.
But we didn't even talk about this. Why are they doing this?
They're selling it. Remember, the trucker comes and they're selling these.
They're just selling the tapes. Is that it?
They also get off on them, as you said. The wank bank station. What'd you call it?
No, I mean, I was just making fun of that.
Wank bank station.
That's probably not
wrong.
I
just assumed dude's just jerking off to all this stuff.
He probably is. Remember, that's what he was. That's what he was watching when they came in. He's watching one of the snuff films.
Okay,
they're just sick creeps.
Yeah, they're weirdos.
Not every movie has to hit you over the head with its plot, like 1408.
I want to know what makes Brett, the brains on Brett, what makes him tick? I want to know, what's his background?
His background is he was molested as a kid. You didn't infer this? Holy crap, he literally says it with the dimes. As he's counting out dimes, I noticed that his pinky was slightly raised, which is a sign of generally of an early childhood trauma. And as he said that
and his mustache,
and as he said that the place was closed, you kind of got a hint of sadness, like he was distant from his parents, and his parents did something to him, a trauma. So he was obviously traumatic. I don't know if it was a molestation, but something in his past. Obviously, were you watching the same movie as me?
Probably told him no.
Yeah, probably.
Oh shit!
I mean, he's not a Zoomer. He's a boomer. So, he probably didn't get his third place trophy.
All right. So your final score was, what was it?
60.
60, and you had.
I think I had 30.
Yeah, I was 30.
And then mine was 46.
Yep.
Well, there we go.
What? You just said there we go, like we should know.
There we go.
Yeah. Moving on. That's it. Episode done.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick segment, though?
Sure. Let's keep it like 5 minutes, because these people are probably like, 2 hours? They crazy?
Yeah, they're like, Jesus Christ.
It's midnight, by the way. Brad is making us stay here as slaves.
Apparently I'm the only one that did this.
You are. But I'll add on to it. So on Facebook, we
can skip this, because this might take a while.
Oh my God.
It won't take a while.
Maybe we should wait then?
Solid 10 minutes. 5.
It's going to be
5 minutes.
Okay. Well,
5 minutes.
All right, I'm going to...
Feel free to turn off now, because this is Brad's baby. I mean, I accidentally made this a real thing.
Gave birth.
Okay, what's the name
of this thing I saw on the internet?
Yeah.
What's the name of this segment?
I don't have it.
Baby batter in my tummy, yay. Baby batter in my tummy, yay. You know what baby batter is?
Yeah.
No, what is that?
Jizz!
Oh my God, no. It's like cake batter, but like you put on baby cakes.
Oh.
Baby cakes.
Yeah.
I do like that, though. It's got a nice ring to it. I think we can put that into a hashtag.
Okay. Hashtag I want Zach's baby batter.
No. It's hashtag exactly what you just said. Baby batter, baby batter, baby batter.
In my tummy.
In my tummy.
That's not where it goes, make babies.
It's short and to the point.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. So we recently had this discussion-ish. It was
on Facebook.
It was a post. It was a thing that happened about Dracula and his sexual preferences and whatnot.
And what he can exactly do. How can he perform sexually? Like,
yeah.
He can't come in without being invited, stuff like that.
So I thought it'd be funny, and Zach agreed on this. Like, what if we took horror movie icons and explained?
Apparently, sarcasm doesn't display well on
no,
social media.
I took this seriously.
I said sure.
I thought it was hilarious.
But I meant to sound like this. Sure.
Okay.
Sarcasm doesn't translate.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
3 minutes.
Okay. All right, 3 minutes. So I got a minute and a half. Horror icon sexual preferences
or sexual abilities.
And we could do this again. We don't have to go through everything.
Yeah, let's make this recurring. Let's
Pinhead. He likes BDSM, right?
Yeah, it's his whole thing,
yeah.
Right?
That's
All right, that's it. Okay.
Well, hold on. Let's talk. This whole thing, the whole movie is about how pleasure and pain are
that one's obvious. That's why I started with that one, Zach. Durr.
It's not funny, guys.
It's
Turn
not
it
funny.
Off now.
It's obvious.
All right.
Wolfman, doggy style. Starting with the obvious ones. Come on.
So, okay, I get it. You're saying what positions they like. I was completely.
I'm just saying sexual ticks or whatever, just
doggy
anything,
style.
Whatever. Hannibal.
Does he have a notch?
Hannibal. He likes oral. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because he eats people.
I was gonna say, why don't you go with an easy eat? He likes to eat people out. Jesus Christ.
Oh, here's another easy one. Dracula. He likes oral, but only once a month.
I feel like I get the joke, but it was very convoluted.
Yeah, again, okay, easy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
That's like, I just want to leave, man.
Invisible Man. Now, I feel like his sex life is a lot like mine in high school, where women look right through him.
That's just self-depreciating.
Well, yeah. Well,
deprivating?
Swamp Thing. I feel like his sex life is much like mine in high school, where women find him ugly.
Yeah, that one's less self-depreciating.
It's okay.
It's a lot better.
Okay, here's a good one.
Hold on, first off, Swamp Thing's a comic book character. Are you thinking the Creature in the Black Lagoon?
Oh, maybe that. Yeah. Okay, Freddy Krueger. Okay, I feel like his sex life is a lot like mine in high school.
Oh my god,
where women just respond with "in your dreams."
That one's a little better. I like that one. But why is your sex life in high school so sad?
Yeah, you were like, it's like my sex life in high school.
Let's see, doggy style, not like my sex life.
Jason Voorhees, come on, easy. MILF fetish, come on.
Oh, mommy
really?
fetish.
Yeah, he's got a thing for mommy issues. Yeah. Norman Bates, same thing.
He literally has a mommy issue.
Okay, Chucky. Boys.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Right.
I had that one.
Okay.
I had that one.
All right.
Why don't we guess? Why don't we make this
into
a game? Let me try to guess what you're going with your jokes. Say the thing, and I'll see if I can guess it.
I was going to say Regan McNeil in The Exorcist. I mean, she already says what she likes.
Sucking cocks in hell?
Well, yeah. I mean, fuck my pussy. Fuck my pussy.
Who?
The Exorcist.
Regan McNeil.
You mean Linda Blair?
Oh my god.
Her characters.
No. Don't correct him. Who's Nev Campbell?
Yeah, who's that? Who the fuck is that?
Oh, also Freddy Krueger. He likes to finger bang. Okay. Here's the ones I actually thought were a little bit clever.
Okay, let's see.
Frankenstein. I'm sorry, Frankenstein's monster.
There you go. We would have a lot of people would complain about this.
And his bride. They're swingers.
I don't get it.
They're into other people's bodies.
Oh, I set you up for that one. I think I should get half the credit.
I appreciate it. Okay, I like this one. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're totally into threesomes. Wow, you had to think about it that long.
No,
you get it.
I get it.
You're just mad about it.
Just don't think it's funny.
I thought it was pretty good. Matt still doesn't.
You're
get
making
it.
fun of a mental
I get
illness.
it.
I feel like you don't get it though.
I don't get it.
You did not put
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, one person.
Yeah.
One other person involved.
Oh, threesomes.
He's making fun of mental illness.
I don't
personality.
I don't math so good.
Okay. Anyway, that's all I had. I
really?
That was fun.
That's your clever
That was
ones?
it?
Yeah. No.
I thought you were going to save them.
I was hoping you guys had
Well,
some.
here's what I thought this segment was going to be. We were going to very detailed, like, how does a zombie have sex? Like, we go over the anatomy. Like,
oh, I know. I was just going over jokes about things, about
like,
and stuff.
Are zombies biters in bed? Are they moaners?
They're obviously biters.
Do they moan?
Oh, they're gonna moan. That's literally the two things they do.
So
They
basically,
moan and
you
they
should
bite.
sleep with a zombie because that's the only time you'll get anyone to moan.
Ooh. Unlike my
High school
sexual experiences. Yeah.
I thought we should have done something more visual with our segment for the first one, you know?
Like, just keep doing this.
Yeah. Okay, so if you've stuck around this long and didn't listen...
me, quick!
Do it. Yeah, he's asking for it. If you stuck around this long and didn't listen to my advice to leave before Brad's sexual preferences in high school... Oh yeah, we have our mascot. We didn't even mention him. Boner. He's our mascot.
Boner the mascot.
He does things like straddles.
No.
Very good.
That was a great dismount, by the way.
Nailed it. So,
Those little dances.
Okay, so our next episode will be coming out roughly in 2 weeks from this. We did have a short hiatus, but here's the thing. I do want to mention this before we close out the segment. We are moving forward. We've been kind of teasing we're going to do things now that we have a camera.
Yes.
We're going to do stuff outside. Of
Shit, there's a camera.
I know.
Wait, was I recording this whole time?
This is just a practice run. It's a dry run. So, now that we have a camera, we're going to do stuff outside the podcast. We have, like, funny little videos we want to do, kind of a YouTube channel thing.
Hopefully we'll get funnier than we are now.
And
You should have seen the first cut of this. The first cut that we didn't realize we weren't recording was hilarious.
Oh, it was great. That was the best thing I've ever seen.
That was 5 hours long.
Yeah.
We've been recording all damn day.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I just realized how many beers Brad actually had because I can see the tops. Camera can't. I can.
Whoopsie daisy.
Whoopsie daisies.
Well, I mean, here's a fun game. Go back and see how many times Brad tried to sneak open a beer.
He's not sneaking anymore. He's like not even hiding
and count.
I was never hiding it. This is the same beer. I'm just grabbing the same.
My guess is a baker's dozen. So,
What is that?
But yeah,
it's like 36, right?
Yeah, close.
We're gonna go on adventures.
We're going on adventures. We're going to go hunt things. We've been talking about what we're going to do. Hauntings.
We're going to go on huntings. Yay!
Hauntings. Like Mansfield Prison we want to go to, obviously.
I mean, that's always a dream.
Yeah. We want to do more stuff like that. We've been talking about, what's that called, though? Something Rose. I always forget.
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose.
Yellow Rose.
Yellow Rose. Amber Rose.
Amber Rose.
We want to go there.
Not the Yellow Rose.
Yellow Rose.
We want to interview people, do stuff more like that. So in addition to the podcast stuff, we also have funny skits, funny videos. You kind of got a taste of our terrible humor.
It's bitter. It's so bitter.
It is very bitter.
Very bitter taste.
Very bitter. Finally, we will need feedback.
We would love feedback.
Please.
We have not heard anything from anybody.
We know we're bad, but please tell us how we're going to get
if you think we're bad, just say that you guys suck.
Don't worry. I handle criticism very well. I just take it on Brad.
And say that we're the most handsome people you've ever seen in your entire life now that you've seen us.
Tell us we suck, and then we'll tell you suck, and then we'll be like, we know we suck, but we're just projecting it onto you.
We know we suck, but at least we're not ugly.
Yeah, we're the most handsome fellas ever.
I take criticism well. Shut up. But also, I want to say, if you guys want to help, anyone wants to help with our videos, like when we do skits and
It'd
stuff.
be nice.
Yeah, we need actors.
We will not pay you. We will not acknowledge you. We will not feature you. We will not listen to you.
Zach will always be in the limelight.
Yeah.
He will be the main character.
Obviously.
We want background actors behind Zach.
Yeah. Like these two are great back. They're going to stand directly behind me and everything.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit too much in the front.
Yeah. You know how much it kills me that Matt's in the center? I die a little inside. All right. So, any final thoughts before we Jerry's final thoughts?
Feedback.
Just
We
feedback.
want feedback. If I can say feedback again, I will say feedback.
Also, check us out on Patreon. Give us money.
And then we could actually pay our extra people.
Yeah, and we can actually do more stuff.
Yeah.
And pay our rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of all...
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, we're all shacked up in this basement. So.
No, we want better equipment.
This is all our
We want better equipment. You can see this we only have one mic. We want multiple mics. We want to do more stuff.
Yeah.
So...
We want to make this a better experience for you.
And we want to probably pay Tim something.
Yeah.
Instead of him paying us.
Tim's been helping a lot.
Tim's been doing a lot.
We pay him enough in insults. I mean, I feel like we pay him
here's
overly
your
in
one,
insults.
Tim. Here's your one. Here's your shout out. We got to shout him out. Remember, he's a Patreon. Tim, I'm sure you have a small weenus. I'm joking. I know.
The skin on
I
the elbow?
know.
That's that part?
Yes. No, Tim, we love you. Wish you were here. You're my one.
Yeah, I wish you were beer.
Yeah. You're my one. Okay. Let's end it from now on. Let's do my sign off. I've been saying keep on mongering a lot.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 1, 2. They suck. Keep on
Keep on mongering.